NFL football tonight.
Hallelujah.
Manuch is like he's got a little Hawaiian skirt on, dancing around like a fourth-grade girl. He is excited. And we have college football as well this weekend. And during our show today, it's Forks, Cats, and Jacks. We'll get into all of that throughout the course of the show. Welcome in, everybody. Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B. Matt is here with us today. Connor back in the studio. We are sequestered nicely in the Tempe marketplace at Twin Peaks. We will be here until 4 o'clock. Manuch, calm down, son. Calm down. I know how you get.
The National Football League gets started. Cowboys at the Eagles. Not that there are any sidebar stories whatsoever with these two teams. The reigning world champs. Pretty quiet during training camp.
Yeah.
Really haven't heard a lot. They talked about losing Josh Sweat to the Cardinals. Then you got Jalen Hurts, business as usual.
Yep.
I think one of the things for the Dallas Cowboys is how is their defense going to look without Micah Parsons? So a lot of Cowboy fans anxious to see that. And I think those are some of the things that a lot of folks are looking for. Just a good, solid football game. Both these teams, I think Dallas, Connor, you can interject here. You're the big Cowboy fan.
He is.
Did your guys play a lot during the preseason, or they did not play a lot?
As far as the starters go, most of the starters didn't play that much. I think some of the younger guys like Tyler Booker, who was our first-round pick, he didn't play the first game, got a little bit of reps the second game, didn't play much of the third. So Schottenheimer kept a lot more close to the chest. You didn't see any CeeDee Lamb, no Dak Prescott, no George Pickens. So kept more so to keep his guys healthy, and I think he's just trying to keep it very vanilla. A lot of people don't know what Brian Schottenheimer's going to bring out.
Yeah. All right, you being the official Cowboy fan extraordinaire, do you does your wife sit there with you and watch the Cowboys? Do you go to your man cave and tell her not to bother you for like 3 hours? I mean, how is it there in the Connor Collins household when the Cowboys are on?
Yeah, so I'm actually lucky. I got a girl who was very happy to be a fan of football, so she understands the game. She learned it. She knew what was going on when we're watching it. Granted, her family grew up Seattle Seahawks fans. They were a little disheartened when I got her wearing a star on her shirt. But no, she's awesome. She's great to have around the house. We did get hit by a huge thunderstorm last night. I'm sure a lot of the people in the Valley did. Yeah. So we lost internet over at our complex. Might have to meet you guys over at Twin Peaks tonight.
Absolutely. Come on over. We'll be here. Tempe, Twin Peaks. They already got it going on, Jimmy.
Crowded in here.
A lot of folks are getting ready to hunker down and watch this game. So, yeah, it'll be how the world champs respond. Hopefully they don't have any kind of a hangover for Eagles fan. And then the Cowboys, I'm just so, the Jimmy B phrase, curious.
Yes.
To see.
Actually, it's just a word.
Yeah, just to see.
Just a single word.
Just curious to see how they respond, ignore the noise, move on. Don't look back, because if you look back, you'll stumble over what's in front of you. You like that metaphor there, Jimmy B?
I did.
And just to see. But they got Dak Prescott. They got a hell of a receiving crew. I think this will be a close one, but can the world champs get off to a good start? And then tomorrow, Friday night, NFL football. The Chiefs at the Chargers down in Brazil, Sao Paulo, Brazil. As far as that's going on, that'll be on YouTube. So if you got YouTube, good luck. If you don't, well,
I got to find a refreshment stand.
If you don't and you want to watch some football, just tune in to Channel 13 tomorrow night. You'll see the AIA game of the week as Basha will host Orange Lutheran High School coming in from Southern California.
There you go. Well, the Cowboys are just a mere 621 points dog tonight in the game. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm really looking forward to it. Look, we know what the Eagles are going to bring. We don't know really what the Cowboys are going to bring with a brand new coach and new coaching.
Yeah, and I'm a Brian Schottenheimer fan.
Are you really?
Yeah, I think wherever he's been, he's done a very good job. He's a disciplined guy. I mean, he doesn't have a long leash for a lot of these guys, but I think he'll do well. They just got to get him the players. I mean, his dad, one of the great coaches of all time.
That's true.
And and watching him and being around him, his philosophies, the way he treated players. And Coach Schottenheimer was just one of those guys. Remember when he was with Cleveland? He was the assistant coach with the Cleveland Browns when I was in Buffalo under Sam Martigliano, who was the head coach with the Browns. And I just think that good football coaching, you can have all the great football coaching you want, but the key is you got to have the players. And I think the key for this team in reference to players is concerned is, can Dak Prescott be the guy that carries this Dallas Cowboy team?
Not a chance.
And see if the Eagles don't have that hangover from the Super Bowl from that particular.
So
standpoint.
Rock just joined the table
Well,
with his
our
Philadelphia
friends,
Eagles shirt on.
our friends from Coors Light
Uh-huh.
and Blue Moon and Dos Equis are here at Twin Peaks having lunch. So
Good.
you don't get to see those guys and it's all the managers.
Well, you got to
okay.
spend time with the managers,
Yeah.
Rock. Got to
So,
go
you know,
schmooze with them. But
It's like, oh, this is nice.
we're just talking about the Thursday night football getting going tonight at all the Twin Peaks locations, and Cowboys without Micah, Eagles coming back off the Super Bowl. Just want to see a good, solid game. And for those that did play or did not play, how they respond once the gun goes off.
There you go.
I mean, the gun goes off. Okay, no more preseason. Here we go. You get lined up properly. You make the key blocks. And, you're going to see, I think, a lot from the Eagles. Pretty solid. Cowboys, just going to be interesting to see how they attack this Eagles defense without a couple of their stalwarts who have moved on from this Philadelphia Eagles team.
I'm real curious to see what Micah Parsons, the loss of him. Look, I always liked Kenny Clark. I thought he was a
hell of a
terrific
player.
nose tackle. Yeah, I think he's going to walk in there and just play fine. He's a very good player. But I don't know. What kind of look, Manuch, when you
Well,
play,
he's a guy he's not an impactful guy.
No,
He
but he disrupts
Sure,
everything and lets the linebackers make plays. When you were playing, if a guy left the team in a trade and was unhappy, can you recall how that impacted the team?
Well, we had Joe DeLamielleure leave. He was
Okay,
our left
I remember
guard,
him.
all-pro left guard.
Yeah.
He wasn't happy with his contract. He left, went to the Cleveland Browns, and I want to say that I'm trying to think who filled in at guard. But it's like, at that point, it's business. As long as you got somebody that can fill in, handle that job. They don't have a Micah Parsons to fill in for Michael Parsons.
No, they do not.
You don't find guys like that. That's a generational guy.
Yeah.
Clark will do fine as far as the run. He'll push the pocket. But you got a guy that like Micah Parsons that's everywhere. And from the guard position, we had guys that were solid. So that year we were 7-9. Now we missed Joe DeLamielleure.
Absolutely.
He was part of the electric company that got OJ his 2,000 yards a few years earlier. But sometimes that's a big hole. And the biggest concern for a quarterback is, okay, if you're filling that spot as a backup, do you know your assignments? Do you know what you're doing? And we had Reggie McKenzie that was next to him that would kind of tell him.
Terrific player.
Yeah,
All right.
tackle.
It's not a Throwback Thursday right now. So let's talk about what we're talking about today.
Well, the point is missing somebody that's that important to your team.
Wow.
And Micah Parsons was extremely
I shouldn't have
important.
asked the question.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
shouldn't have done that.
All right, so it is Thursday. That means Forks, Cats, and Jacks. We're going to kick off with NAU head football coach Brian Wright after the Lumberjacks' tough opener at ASU. Then we'll catch up with Sun Devils assistant head coach Charlie Ragle. He'll join us, break down Sam Levitt's game, as well as preview Mississippi State. Plus, we'll catch up with former Wildcat great Brandon Sanders, who's now the Arizona's coordinator of football, alumni, and high school relations, to talk some Cats football after their big win over Hawaii, and then we'll look ahead to Weber State. Hour number 2, it's Roc's Man Vice. We'll hit everything from AI's pick for the catchiest song ever to iced beer and Denzel Washington's real name. Then we are going to go live to New Orleans with John, how do you say his last name?
Sokoloff.
Sokoloff. So it is Sokoloff.
Sokoloff.
He will join us to break down the opener. And then hour number 3, Zach Gallen is back as the ace for the Diamondbacks, and we'll talk about how he's found his fastball again. And then longtime NFL insider Howard Balzer joins us, previews the Cardinal Saints, and he'll drop his weekly H-bomb. And don't forget, later today in the 2 o'clock hour, it's our Twin Peaks man card game. That's our Peaks Picks. Plus, we'll have more updates and plenty of laughs to go along as we're fueled by Twin Peaks today, your ultimate home for football. We have draft specials throughout the day as we get ready for Game 1 of the 2025 season. I'm not sure, as I jumped on late, did you talk about the 2-0
We
shutout?
did,
Yes, so you got that covered, so that was good.
We were good.
As for Manuch, this win, if D-backs stay within striking distance.
5.5 out.
Yeah, behind the Mets. So
5.5.
we'll see what happens on that. So that's good. It's been a rough ride all year for Zach Gallen, but what a great August 2.57 ERA over 5 starts. So, he even said he his fastball is somewhat back.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that's working for him.
Is that enough with what you've seen? Will that be enough to get him a better contract with the D-backs, or the D-backs pass on him and let him walk?
Oh, they'll make an offer.
Well, they'll
make
do that,
total offer.
But
I mean, I think
will
that
it be a respectable offer?
you look at the good and the bad. Somewhere in the middle lies the truth, right? With Zach Gallen. So you pretty much know what you're going to get. You might get a streak of 3 or 4 bad outings. You might get a streak of 5 or 6 good outings. Like these last 4 outings have been very good outings. The one thing is the guy throws a lot of pitches.
Yeah.
Damn, 97 pitches in 6 innings. But you know what? He's effective these last 4 or 5 games. So I think they'll make him now, whether it's a fair market offer.
Yeah, that's the key.
That's the situation you got to look at.
All right, you can hear us many different places. Of course, right here on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD-2. We're on YouTube. We're on TuneIn, the Arizona Sports app, RocandManuch.com, your smart speaker. And if you want to see my my Eagles Super Bowl ring, you got to go on YouTube right now, and you'll see my Super Bowl ring.
It's awesome.
I only bring it out during the playoffs and during the first game of the season. I mean, as of right now, we are still the defending champion.
Yes, you are.
That is correct.
So I will have that. You'll be able to see that on YouTube. But first up, we're going to check in with NAU head coach Brian Wright after their season opening loss to ASU. He'll break down the effort, what's next, and how the Lumberjacks are gearing up for Utah State. Utah State, where our producer
Utah Tech
State, it's someplace. I'll just call it Dixie.
Somewhere in Utah.
Call it Dixie something.
Dixie College.
And how they're going to destroy them on Saturday up there in Flagstaff. Just kidding, Connor. All right, we're going to get into that next. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from Twin Peaks, Tempe.
When it comes to sushi, reputation matters, and Sushi Brokers Arcadia has built theirs on being the best sushi in Arizona. From traditional rolls to bold fusion creations, like our crowd favorite, Seafood Dynamite, and the must-try sushi pizza. We've got something for everyone. Our famous happy hour is every day from 3 to 6:30 with fresh favorites like the California roll, spicy tuna roll, and the surf and turf roll topped with seared steak. Sushi Brokers Arcadia, 44th Street in Indian School.
Hey, it's Kevin Rowe from Lerner & Rowe, trusted across Arizona for helping injured people after serious car wrecks. And I'm Sean Forrester, managing attorney at Lerner & Rowe Law Group. We may sound alike, but Lerner & Rowe Law Group is a completely separate firm focused solely on criminal defense. We handle serious felonies, DUIs, and misdemeanors with decades of courtroom experience. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call Lerner & Rowe Law Group now at 602-977-1900.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Looking for a place where everyone is welcome? Come to Azul Bar and Grill in Phoenix. Not your typical sports bar, Azul is the ultimate hangout spot for friends and families alike. Enjoy live music, catch your favorite games, play some fun games, and savor delicious food in a vibrant atmosphere. Visit us at 3134 West Carefree Highway in the Tremonto Plaza. Don't miss out on our daily events and specials at azulgrill.com. Azul Bar and Grill, a great time, but a better time with you.
Summer is just around the corner. Is your roof ready for the monsoon season? Well, now's the perfect time to call State 48 Roofing for a free roof inspection. Don't wait until you're dealing with a leaky roof in the scorching heat. Protect your home today. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509. Keep your roof sexy with State 48 Roofing, the #1 referred roofer in Arizona. Proudly serving the Arizona residential and commercial markets for over a decade.
There's never been a better time to experience Sun Devil football.
Pressure coming, Levitt throwing for the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown by Jordan Tyson. The Levitt to Tyson connection clicks again.
Don't miss your chance to be a part of the action, tradition, and unmatched atmosphere at Mountain America Stadium this season. Get your Sun Devil football tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
As Levitt looking to throw, pressure in his face. He throws downfield. He's got a man open, but the pass is intercepted. Intercepted at the 33-yard line by cornerback Mikey Beresford, who goes down there. As Levitt, with pressure coming right in his face, threw off his back foot and just kind of threw it up for grabs to the far side of the field. And Beresford comes up with the first takeaway of the night for either team.
All right, Arizona Sports with the call as we get into our Forks, Cats, and Jackson. We start with the Jackson. We start with Brian Wright, head coach of Northern Arizona. Coach, despite the score at Arizona State, you said that the guys battled. They played extremely hard. So with that being said, what do you think you learned from your team in this first test against a top 15 program in all of football?
Well, we learned that we might not have as much depth as they do, certainly across the board. But we learned that our team is not going to flinch. You know, they are going to show up and perform. And I think we did that at a high level. We certainly are disappointed in the outcome of that game and disappointed in the result of a few of the plays that we felt like we were really close on, just couldn't execute them against a really good football team.
Coach, you mentioned maybe a few plays. Was there a specific moment or a play or two that comes to mind after you watched the film?
Yeah, I think that what stands out, really our first trip down in the red zone and not being able to cash in down there. That was disappointing. A really big moment in the third quarter. We had just answered ASU score with a touchdown ourselves, made a stop, got the ball back, and convert. We thought we converted on a third down and had a lineman downfield penalty that we're still trying to figure out where that lineman was at and how he could have been downfield, but not being able to convert there, it put us in third and long, and then we couldn't convert. But we were just starting to grab a little bit of momentum right there, and so I think that was crucial. And a couple, a big, obviously the fake punt and not being able to get the ball back to our offense in that situation were just a few of the plays that really stood out.
Coach, I thought after the first quarter, you guys really settled down. I love the defensive schemes. I'm still trying to figure out your next quarterback how to throw a hot route or side adjust off of something like that when you have 25 people blitzing at one time. I think you brought a couple of people out of the stands, too, if I recollect. But that scheme that you guys ran, the speed, the athleticism that your defensive coordinator ran, really had a top 11 team offensive line perplexed. You got to feel pretty good about that scheming that you guys had.
Yeah, we are. Coach Clark, the rest of the defensive staff do a great job getting our guys ready, putting them in position to have success, putting them in position to keep pressure on offenses. Yeah, and I thought for the most part, certainly there's some really big plays that we still gave up, but for the most part, we hung in there most of the night with them.
And on top of that, Coach, I think noticeably watching you guys a little bit last year is your speed and your physicality with this defense and even your offensive line. And was that a concerted effort when you got here last year to really focus on that during the recruiting period?
It absolutely was. For as much as college football has changed over the last 5, 6, 7 years, and even as some of the rules change within the game, you're not going to get away with not being physical in the game of football. You're not going to get away with not trying to dominate, up front, both sides of the ball on the O line and the D line. And you're not going to have a substitute for speed. Those things still show up on really, really good football teams. And when we first showed up, we went out and hit the recruiting trail hard and tried to go find more of that. And you continue to do that. As you build your program, you're always trying to find how do we become bigger, faster, stronger, and more physical.
Brian Wright is our guest on the Wright Toyota guest line. Yesterday we had different college pundits on the show. I told every one of those pundits, Coach, that your team right now is a FCS playoff team. And I believe when you play now in the Big Sky, staying relatively healthy, of course, that you guys are going to make a deep run in the playoffs. Do you feel the same way, even though what took place against ASU?
Oh, I haven't got that far yet, to be honest. I haven't even thought of that. We haven't even gotten to Big Sky play yet. We've still got 3 more non-conference games here coming up that are staring right at us, and a Utah Tech team that's rolling in here Saturday that is much improved from a year ago. And so they have our full attention right now.
With that being said, Utah Tech was where our producer Connor played football at, who you talked to on the phone, who brought you on. What stands out about them on film right now?
They are also playing more physical. They are also playing faster. They are very aggressive on defense. They bring a lot of blitzes as well, and they've added some really good quarterback run game on the offensive side of the ball. Some triple option elements that always challenge you on defense. And so I think, they've improved schematically. They've added a few new faces to both sides of the football. And I think like us, they're believing, right now. They're believing after a strong performance in week 1 for them.
Coach, and after you leave the ASU game, you look back, you look at the pluses and the minuses, and hopefully the pluses outweigh the minuses. So grade-wise, scoring-wise, overall for your team to take on the 11th ranked team in the nation, how did your team grade out overall?
That's a good question because, you'll ultimately grade yourself from the scoreboard. We try to really work hard on grading ourselves on an inner scoreboard and how did we do our job to the best of our ability each moment that we had, each play that we had. And when we go back and we do that, I thought we were around a B or a B plus, somewhere in there when you start to add up all the grades that we gave individually to our players in all 3 phases. So overall, probably in that B range, and so much more to go. And certainly you learned a lot when you're playing a team like that, and the speed and the strength that they have, it exposes you. And so it was good for us. It exposed a few things that we know we got to really get better at.
Coach, this story is breaking as we speak, being reported. The NCAA Oversight Committee has offered up recommendations where now they want to have just a single transfer portal window from January 2nd to January 11th. December would become a dead recruiting period. Are you all in on just one portal option, or do you prefer more?
I'm all in to one, certainly. The volatile nature of college football already. If there's some way we can slow that down and get less people, moving out of the door and moving in the door would certainly help us and calm things down a little bit. So certainly one 10-day portal period makes more sense to me. The tough thing and the challenge for us is how late that is. I think some of us still wanted a December portal, and that time in January butts right up against really our first day of classes in the spring semester. And so getting new players in as you're losing players really at the 11th hour before second semester starts, or that winter semester starts, is really still going to be a challenge.
Coach, as we let you go, just real quick, can you tell us how the running of the freshmen goes? That seems like a really cool thing you guys keep doing.
Actually, I don't know. It goes when we're in the locker room, so I haven't seen it really live. But our president, President Cruz Rivera, he gets out and really leads the charge with all of the true freshmen. So we'll have a few thousand true freshmen at the entry of our the indoor, the Sky Dome here. We have a big garage door, and a few thousand of them will at some point in pregame run through the middle of the field and run to the student section, which is right behind the visitor. So we want to have that thing full for Saturday afternoon.
All right, Coach, good luck on Saturday. We'll look forward to catching up with you next week.
Sounds great. Thanks for having me. Go Jacks.
That's Coach Brian Wright, NAU. They got Utah Tech this weekend, home opener, running of the freshmen, a tradition they've been doing for a long time up there in Flagstaff in the Sky Dome. All right, coming up, ASU assistant coach Charlie Ragle will join us, talk about that same game we just talked about with Coach Wright. We'll get his take on how this team's preparing or are already prepared for their primetime SEC showdown at Mississippi State. We are live from Twin Peaks in Tempe. Here's Connor Collins with the first Twin Peaks ESPN 620 update for the day.
It's time for your Roc Manuch with Jimmy B, Twin Peaks ESPN 620 update. I'm Connor Collins. The Diamondbacks beat the Rangers 2-0 last night behind 6 scoreless innings from Zach Gallen, who was able to strike out 7. This win moves Arizona back to 500 as they aim to stay in playoff contention. Governor Katie Hobbs also signed a bill securing Chase Field for the next 30 years, including $500 million in renovations. They have the day off today before beginning a home weekend series versus the Boston Red Sox. Over in football, the Cardinals opened up season at New Orleans. And on the injury report, guard Will Hernandez is questionable with a knee injury, while guard John Gaines II practiced fully as he recovers from a thumb injury. Sign up for our 2025 Pro Football Fan Pick powered by Twin Peaks and their 5 Valley Lodges. Make sure your weekly pick beat Roc, Manuch, and Jimmy B, and you can score prizes all season long. Bragging rights are on the line, so get in the game. Twin Peaks, the ultimate home for football.
Join the team at the largest towing company in the state, All City Towing. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service personnel. Enjoy benefits like the state's most advanced towing equipment, set work schedules, a healthy 401k employer match, health benefits, employer paid life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Ready to take your career to the next level? Visit us at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move.
Need to feed a crowd? Let Venencia's bring the flavor to your next event. We know you have a lot of options when feeding a large group. Ordering directly from Venencia's means you get the best service and the absolute best pricing. There's no per person fee. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll come up with a perfect plan to ensure everyone's well fed and happy. Grad party, office celebration, family reunion. Invite Venencia's to the table. Text catering to 411-24/7. That's catering to 411-247 or Venencias.com.
Draft your fantasy team where the real MVPs are at Twin Peaks. Ice cold beverages, wall-to-wall TVs, legendary eats, and scenic views. This is how you fantasy draft. Commissioners score a $50 bonus card plus $5 for every drafter at the lodge. Lock in your draft party now at TwinPeaksRestaurant.com/fantasy draft, or better yet, just stop into one of 5 Valley Twin Peaks lodges. Twin Peaks, the ultimate draft day destination.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Rowe is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Rowe is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Rowe is the way to go.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner and Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G protein bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section, or explore amazing flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G protein bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
There's never been a better time to experience Sun Devil football. Pressure coming. Levitt throwing for the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown by Jordan Tyson. The Levitt to Tyson connection clicks again. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the action, tradition, and unmatched atmosphere at Mountain America Stadium this season. Get your Sun Devil football tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Let's talk Sun Devil football. Coach Charlie Ragle now on ESPN 620 with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, courtesy of the Crest Insurance Group. Combine your home and auto for big savings today. Head to crestins.com. Now let's talk Arizona State football with Coach Charlie Ragle.
Down as Levitt wants to throw. Pressure coming. Sam tries to get away and does, and runs for a first down and a lot more to the 30, 20. Levitt may go. He's going to take it all the way in for a touchdown. On 3rd and 4, a 52-yard touchdown run by scrambling Sam Levitt.
Yeah, Sam Levitt accounted for a bunch of touchdowns and nearly 330 total yards. And joining us now, as you just heard the big voice guy, assistant head coach, Arizona State, Coach Charlie Ragle. How we doing there, Coach? How's it going?
We are living the dream. It is September. We're playing football, and life is good. How we doing?
Outstanding. So what stood out to you about Sam Levitt in this first start of the season?
Well, I think, the one thing that everybody knows is what a tremendous athlete he is, and I think he put that on display, again in the first game of this season with his feet, obviously, his connections with Jordan Tyson. But he's a tremendous athlete that when you have that, it's a plus one because everybody knows he can throw the football, but to have the ability to run the ball like that it's a nightmare for defensive coordinators.
And Charlie, I got to imagine the one thing I do notice about him this maybe midway through last year, when he moves, he keeps his eyes up. He does look to throw to guys as he's scrambling around. A lot of people think, well, he's a hell of an athlete, but he's smart with the ball. He had a couple throws off platform, so to speak. Is that something you guys work on a lot with him?
I wouldn't say that it's something they work on a lot. I think that's something that obviously is in his arsenal and that they work on, but I think that some of that stuff, as you know, Dan, some of that stuff you can't teach. It's just natural. And obviously he's got a lot of athletic ability and he's able to make those kind of plays. I think the one thing that you said was a great emphasis is he sees it, and I think great quarterbacks have great vision and eyes up at all times. And I think he certainly does that.
I knew he's athletic, coach, but is he like a 4.5 40 guy? Because he pulled away from the defensive backs on that run you just heard by Tim Healy. Is he about a 4.5, 4.55 guy?
Yeah, I would say that I think he's in that range. He can dunk a basketball. He's got tremendous hops. He's twitchy. People that correlates, right? He's got a lot of fast twitch in him, and you see him run. I think if he trained and whatever that's relative in the quarterback world, at the next level, you go to the combine. I won't be shocked if he runs 4.5.
Charlie Ragle's our guest on the Wright Toyota guest line. Okay, Coach, you know me. I'm going to fire one at you here. It's always good to get a win.
Hold on, Jimmy. Hold on.
Yeah,
magnanimous was the word you used for me. All right?
Yes.
I've got a word I'm going to use for you. You ready?
Do we have to dump it on radio, or is it acceptable?
Nah, I'm going to wait. Go ahead.
All right. My question is, what was it like after the celebration of the win? The players come back then the next day for film study, and 12 penalties in that game, Charlie. You know as well as I do, you cannot have 12 penalties and have success against, say, Mississippi State.
No, without question. Absolutely. I don't even think that was that was discussed in the locker room after the game.
Okay.
You're not going to win a whole lot of games committing those types of penalties. It's just not clean football. And, again, it's the first game, the one thing, and there's no excuses. At the end of the day, you got to go out and produce. But there's no scrimmage per se, no preseason game. So, the speed of the game is different, and there's some things that we certainly can clean up as coaches, as players, as just a collective organization. We'll be better this week. We have to be better. Period. Point blank. You can't go into a hostile environment in Mississippi and expect to win a football game making those kind of mistakes without question. And that's uncharacteristic of the Kenny Dillingham football program. But, again, new year, new team, even though you got a lot of vets back, still new guys and some things that you got to work through. So we'll get through it. I think we'll be a lot better this week in that department.
And Coach, to that point, what were some of the key points that you guys wanted to clean up offensively and some of the key points defensively?
Well, I just think at the end of the day, again, I keep saying this, and I don't want to sound like a broken record. At the end of the day, we want to be a team that runs the football on offense.
Yeah.
Not a team that beats ourselves and plays with tremendous effort. If you can do those two things, maybe three things: run the football, play with tremendous effort, and not make mistakes, you're going to win a bunch of football games. Conversely, on the defensive side of the ball, you got to stop the run. You can't make the mistake, and you got to be able to play with great pursuit, great passion, great whatever you want to call it, energy, whatever the term you want to use. You got to run to the ball, and that's been our trademark, and we did that for a good bit of it. I don't question these guys' effort at all. I don't think anybody walked away from there like, but I think they know that we can play at a higher level, and again, it's no disrespect to NAU because that's a heck of a football team, and I think they're going to have a good year. And I've got a good bit of experience in the FCS. I think they'll have a good year. They're a good football team. They do some unorthodox stuff on their defensive side of the ball, but it's also NAU. We're going to Mississippi State, and if you can't get motivated to go play in the SEC and play in Starkville on the road, then we have to take a step back and say, who are we? So this will be a big test for us, and it's one that I know I'm excited about, and I think our coaching staff and players are equally excited as well.
And Charlie, you alluded to defensively a pretty exotic scheme that I believe it was Coach Baker was throwing at you guys. Was that when they started to bring the house all the time? Was that Sam not seeing it, not getting rid of it? Was the offensive line confusion? And I know there's a blessing in disguise with something like that. But when did that finally get cleaned up? Was it about midway through the third quarter you guys started to get track of what he was trying to do?
Yeah, I think so. I think probably, they gave us different versions of it. And I think, we got a new center, and that has something to do with it, and Ben Coleman. And, it's a process. He's played guard last year. Again, a veteran player coming back, heck of a player. But, it takes time, and that at that center spot, you got to be able to see that stuff and ID it and help the quarterback. And so, again, I think sometimes people assume that, we got everybody back. But, yeah, we got a lot of people back, but some of those positions are moved, and we've changed a little bit of stuff schematically, positions. So there's still a filling out process for a few games, and that takes some time. And I think as we go, we're going to just obviously only get better.
Charlie, I know that you used some of the staff with cowbells in their hands during practice. I can tell you this from being in Starkville at a game. It's nothing like you've ever seen before, and it is loud. So I'm sure that you guys worked on some silent counts. How did that all transition then in practice?
Well, again, at the end of the day, we've gone into a lot of hostile environments. Just because you ring the cowbell, that has nothing to do with what happens in between the lines. Ring the bells all you want. When the ball snaps, you can't ring the bell. That's the rule of college football. The bells turn off. You can ring them, in between plays and all that stuff. That's great. They ring bells at Christmas time too, Jimmy. I love to get the Salvation Army money when they ring the bells. We'll be just fine.
And in reference to that, when you watch Mississippi State, Coach, overall, SEC, are they that prototypical? They're fast, they're big, they're strong. Anything athletic-wise any different than some of the other SEC teams that you're going to face this year?
Yeah, that's what you just described into a team. They're big, they run fast, straight ahead, and they're very similar to the team that we played last year. Are they better? I don't know. I mean, they played one game. I don't know. Again, you're trying to evaluate off of a Southern Miss team that you don't know a whole lot about, a lot of transfers from Marshall that were really good last year. So, again, you're trying to a guessing game. But listen, here's what I do know is we're going into Starkville. Those bells, Jimmy, you're right, they will be loud. But, again, we've prepared and we've got our situational awareness ready for that. Kind of like my dog Coco, ring the bell, she comes a-calling. You know what I mean? We're going to come a-calling, and they're going to come ready to play. We know it's going to be hostile. We beat them last year. We know that didn't sit well with them, and we're going to get their very best effort. What I'm excited about is it is just that. We're going into hostile territory. We're from the West Coast. They don't like us. We understand that. We're good with that. How do our kids respond? This will be will tell a lot about us as we move forward with the season on how we play in Starkville on Saturday night.
Coach, last one. This is a question just for you as a coach. Where is the loudest stadium you've ever coached in?
Great question.
Oregon?
Man.
Oregon, maybe?
I actually went down to Ole Miss. I know it's not Starkville, obviously, but I was down in Ole Miss. I'm not saying that was the loudest, but I've been to Mississippi before. I'm just throwing that as a point of reference. The Grove is different than Stark Vegas. We all know that. The loudest place I've been is probably Oregon. Yeah. And here's the funny thing, right? When Ohio State went out there to play Oregon last year, you saw so many of the Ohio State fans like, "Oh, this place is crazy! Like it's crazy loud." These fans get crazy, like all of a sudden, like, "Oh, West Coast football." I mean, they actually have a few stadiums that people show up to and pack the joint. So I mean, it's all relative. But to answer your question, yeah, Oregon's probably the loudest place in the that I've coached in.
Yeah, I would agree. And I was at that game last year with Ohio State and Oregon, and I was with a lot of Buckeye fans, and they were like, wow. Yeah, it's just they didn't expect it. It's great. And it's just like coming into Sun Devil Stadium, how that is going to be such a home team benefit and, 12th fan and all that good stuff. So, hey, go get them there in
Starkville. Real quick before I know we got to go,
yeah.
But I want to hit you with this real quick. I remember Pete Carroll coming across and telling Dirk Cutter. Dirk told me this after the 2005 game. I wasn't on staff yet there as a GA, but Pete Carroll was like, in 2005, it was College Game Day, USC, that whole crew, Reggie Bush, Leinert, all that. We were up 28-14 at half. We ended up losing the game. Pete Carroll, what an environment. That was one of the most raucous environments, Sun Devil Stadium, I've ever seen. It can be done here, and we're going to do it. I know you guys got to go. I appreciate you. I'll see you next Thursday. As always, Jimmy B, go Devils!
Charlie Ragle brought to you by Crest Insurance Group, as they are our sponsor once again for the Charlie Ragle Sun Devil Report. Crest Insurance Group offers personal, business, and specialty insurance solutions for clients across all markets. Check it out at crestins.com. Speaking of Sun Devils, speaking of the game on Saturday, we are going to be at the Backyard Desert Ridge. It is our first road trip watch party with Dos Equis. We can't wait. Game time, 4:30. Incredible atmosphere. Incredible Dos Equis drink specials. All game food specials. Halftime, 25 lucky fans will be able to roll the jumbo dice for their shot at $10,000. It's Dos Equis. It's Backyard Desert Ridge. And it's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. That is our official home for all Sun Devil road trips. All right. We're going to joining us next will be Brandon Sanders. Looking forward to catching up with him. He is going to talk some Cats. If you may remember him, you Arizona fans, he was a safety on that Desert Swarm defense, and he went on to play in the NFL with the Giants. He is back in Tucson with the Wildcats as a coordinator of football alumni. We'll talk Arizona's win over Hawaii and their next opponent, Weber State, next right here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Who wants to hit LA? Sign up for the Twin Peaks Gridiron Getaway, powered by Roc and Manuch with Jimmy D. Grand prize, 2 tickets to see the Cards at the Rams January 4th at SoFi Stadium, hotel at the Westin LA, and a $500 Visa card. Runner-up scores a $500 big game tailgate at Twin Peaks for you and 9 friends. Scan to score at Twin Peaks or text PEAKS to 59925 to enter. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views, and football dreams.
When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers bring more air for less money. Rust-free, USA built, backed by over 40 years of cooling expertise. Available now at Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, Tractor Supply, and Northern Tool. For more information, go to staycool-products.com. Stay Cool Products. Form, function, value. Get yours today and beat the heat.
Remember when things were built to last? Well, at Arizona Patio Furniture, we've been handcrafting premium outdoor furniture and custom cushions for over 15 years, right here in Phoenix, using 100% American-made materials. We build it, we sell it, we guarantee it with our exclusive 5-year plus worry-free warranty. Visit any one of our 3 Valley showrooms or go to ArizonaPatioFurniture.com. Mention this ad for free delivery and setup in Maricopa County. Arizona Patio Furniture. Some things are still made like they used to be.
Rock for WrightToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
For Noah this season. More on that after this run. Quincy Craig breaks it to daylight. To the 10. To the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona.
All right, time to talk some Cats. Joining us now on ESPN at 620 is, I don't know what can you just not touch me there? I mean, I don't want to be up. Arizona coordinator of football, alumni, and high school relations as the Cats come off a big win of Hawaii where their defense forced 5 turnovers, and now they gear up for Weber State. Brandon, thanks for taking the time. Good start for the Cats, and you got to like this defense, you being part of that Desert Swarm. A lot of people making some very early comparisons, but you got to like that talk down in Tucson right now.
Definitely like it, man. Definitely excited. You know, I've been a fan of Coach Danny Gonzalez for a long time, back when he was even at San Diego State. So just the principles of what they're trying to do, man, run to the ball, more bodies to the ball. I mean, it does give you that swarm feel, but I think just their attitude, they were swarming and they were hitting.
Brandon, how much is that scheme, and how much is just effort and execution there on that defense?
Oh, it's a little bit of both. If you ever watched Rocky Long's defenses back in the day, I mean, even if I told some people, if you go back to 2021 and watch that San Diego State defense, same principle, the scheme actually lends itself for a lot of those safeties and a lot of those D linemen to maneuver around. And then I think with Coach Gonzalez, the attitude of the guys, You know, he doesn't accept anything less than, you know, the attitude of them, you know, swarming to the ball, getting, you know, accountability, our red line, you know, accountability, 100. He doesn't accept anything less than that.
And I got to tell you what, you look at Dalton Johnson, that young man, Brandon, all over the place as far as tackling. You look at him, he had 4 solos, along with the 10. Talk about that young man a little bit, how much his game influences this defense.
You know, it's funny. I'll take you back to some old times. He kind of reminds me of back in the day. You'll know a guy who played here, Heath Bray, and then we also had Michael Sherlock. He was a quarterback that actually ended up playing linebacker and safety for us. Sherlock was a linebacker one year, but he finished his career as a cornerback. That doesn't even translate, and that's kind of how Dalton was. When you think of last year, you know, he had to move into almost a linebacker situation, and I think this is a little bit more conducive where his body can hold up over the long haul. He made a ton of tackles last year. He'll make a ton of tackles this year because the defensive system dictates that.
I think the other thing, too, that was impressive, Brandon, was watching the balance. You know, Noah, they're not big numbers, 161 yards, but the rushing game, and coaches talked about the emphasis with the rushing game, 183 yards rushing. Quite a few guys ran the ball. Was that the goal coming into this Hawaii game, being your first real actual competition, really get a lot of running backs involved and really focus on the run game?
I think when you look at Coach Shep Daggy, you know, he's gonna make sure he fits the system to what the personnel has. I think, you know, if you talk about Coach Alonzo Carter, they're gonna run by committee. When you talk about the numbers passing wise, no one is playing. No one is putting in that. You know, there were a lot of starters, especially in the receiving room, that did not play. Chris Hudson transferred from Oregon State, didn't play. Chris Hunter, one of our returning guys from last year, did not play. Trey Spivey, that just transferred in, only had a few, and then he got nicked up, so he didn't play as much. Tight end, you know, we had Kean Burnett, tight end that came back. That was one of our leading receivers from last year. He did not play, and then the guy who backed him up got hurt in the first play of the game. So you talking about trying to get some continuity with at least 2 to 3 freshmen and a couple other new guys. That, I think, lends a issue on as far as trying to make sure, you know, the passing attack probably didn't look the way it needed to, I would say. But definitely a balanced attack you want to have in the Big 12 because you're going to run into defenses that are stout against the run, and you're going to run into some that are very good versus pass. So you better be able to do a little bit of both.
And relating to your recruiting, Brandon Phelps, Joe Richardson, and as you mentioned, Trey Spivey, all from the Valley, Coach. You got him down there catching. And I'm sorry Trey left my K-State Wildcats, but I hope he does well down at U of A. So you're scouring the Valley pretty good with this receiving corps.
Hey, man, Brandon Phelps didn't even get a chance. He played a little bit, and he's coming back offense. So even I forgot about Brandon. DP played a little bit. So, yeah, we definitely want to make sure that we take care of the state of Arizona. You know, Phoenix is a hotbed. If you look at all the recruits that go out of that place, and then all the surrounding areas, man, it's an impressive thing how the state of Arizona has elevated the high school play over the last, I don't know, what would you say, 15 years maybe?
Sure, 15 years or so. Yeah.
Yeah.
With all the Cats fans that are listening to us right now, why don't you give them a little insight into what you think you're going to see against Weber State?
Weber State, you're going to see a quarterback that's from Weber State. Quarterback from Weber State that is he looks like a straight dog, man. He's going to run the ball. He's thick. He's probably about they list him at 215. Looks about 217, 220. Has a good arm. Has some good receivers. They're going to try to run the ball, and then defensively they'll be multiple as far as you know what you're going to see up front. You'll see 3-man front. You'll see some 4-man front, and they'll try to they'll mix in some zero coverage, and they'll mix in some one high safety and try to just man up, and so they'll be active, and then in the kicking game they'll be solid. How about that?
That works. That works great.
And Coach, to that point, you're basically after Hawaii, them coming in, what's going to kind of be that mantra? What's the mantra to continue on here early in the season, no matter who you play?
I think, Coach Gonzalez said it a couple of days ago, it's a faceless opponent. It's about how we go about our business and attack the work. We have a thing with Red Line, which is, 100% effort, 100% all the time, accountability, and then own it and fix it. We have to make sure we are taking care of the things we need to take care of. I think you look at last week, we took care of the ball. We need to continue to do that. We had 0 turnovers as far as on the offense, and then we took the ball away. Turnover sort is very big, but I think, we have to, I think defensively, for the most part, we set a standard. Now you can't go back now. You have to continue to grow and get better. Everyone says, you make the most improve between week 1 and week 2, but you still need to improve throughout every week. And so I think offensively, I think our passing game, they definitely want to have do a little bit more. I ain't gonna say we're gonna pass the ball all over the place. I'm saying you'll want to see better percentage and better avenues on that. Still have the running game do what it does, and then hopefully get some of these guys that are injured back. So now you can start getting the continuity defensively with Trajan Stoops, offensively with guys that were injured. So we can continue to get those guys back. It'll make it better for us. Because we're going to need everybody in this room to do what we're trying to do, which is, whether you want to say win the Big 12, we're trying to go to the Rose Bowl, whatever that is, you go forward from there.
Coach, great stuff. We'll do this again. Thanks so much for the time, and good luck this weekend.
Hey, appreciate you guys, man. Bear down, go Cats.
There you go. Brandon Sanders, coordinator, football alumni, high school relations. You can follow him on X at Coach B. Sanders 18. As our University of Arizona segment is brought to you by G2G Protein Bars. You can find them in the refrigerator section at Costco and online at g2gbar.com. All right, coming up, 2:45, our Twin Peaks picks. We're looking forward to that. Got some Roc's Man Bites. We'll kind of get into some other stuff just to start the next hour. And then we'll also go out to New Orleans to get a preview of the Saints. Roc Manuch, Jimmy B from Tempe, Twin Peaks.
At Crest Insurance, we believe great insurance starts with great relationships. For years, we've been protecting businesses, families, and futures with the care and expertise you deserve. Our team knows what it takes to provide personalized solutions for your needs. We're here to make insurance simple, reliable, and stress-free. Visit crestins.com to see how we can protect what matters most to you.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you bought that TV in the parking lot. It just happened to not come in a box or include a remote. And when you finally managed to turn it on, all it displayed was the menu of Grumpy's Tacos. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Mondays belong to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live from Biggs America Bar and Grill in Peoria. The guys broadcast every Monday from 1 till 4, right in P83, across from the Peoria Sports Complex at 83rd Avenue in Bell. Then stick around as they host that night's football game. Food, drinks, prizes, and a shot at cash. That's right. Each week, 20 fans get a chance to roll the dough for $10,000. $10,000. Mondays, Biggs Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Be there.
There's never been a better time to experience Sun Devil football.
Pressure coming. Levitt throwing for the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown by Jordan Tyson. The Levitt to Tyson connection clicks again.
Don't miss your chance to be a part of the action, tradition, and unmatched atmosphere at Mountain America Stadium this season. Get your Sun Devil football tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
It's time to make plans to join Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B for the Dosaki Sun Devils Watch Party. ASU on the road at Mississippi State, Saturday, September 6th at Backyard Desert Ridge. Your ultimate tailgate. 40-plus beers, signature cocktails, elevated bar favorites, and the game on massive LED walls. At halftime, 25 fans get a shot to roll for dough. $10,000 on the line. The guys will also host road game parties for Baylor and Iowa State at Backyard Desert Ridge and Utah at Backyard Gilbert.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports. Is ESPN 620. It's Thursday, and welcome to Lodge Mentality. The guys are live at Twin Peaks Tempe, located in the Tempe Marketplace. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge and home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, hour number 2 out here at the Twin Peaks in Tempe. Every Thursday we are at a different Twin Peaks. We have been for many years. Get Thursday football started. Of course, the Eagles and the Cowboys tonight at 5 o'clock on NBC Channel 12. It's not prime tonight. It's not prime, as the season opener is always on NBC, and it's always defending world champion against a nobody, and that'll be tonight.
And you have your Eagles jersey on.
Got my Eagles Super Bowl ring with me, too.
Yeah, you
which
do.
Can watch on YouTube.
Very nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
hell of a knockoff.
I used the wrong finger when I was showing YouTube. So if I offended anyone, I'm sorry.
So you were showing everybody that you were number one.
Yes, it was the wrong finger. But
Must be so used to using that finger, Rob.
Yeah.
So
natural.
I mean, you guys have all seen this ring.
Oh, yeah.
I had it at the Super Bowl at Week of Pop, but
very nice.
You know, so many people think it's real. And it looks real. It feels real.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a couple pounds. I mean, it's pretty heavy. But it's a replica. But it'll get some play tonight.
Zirconium versus real diamonds.
I don't know about that, but I don't know.
I
what
thought
that
it was
is.
chip glass.
It might be.
Chip glass,
All those windshields
That's it.
that get replaced.
Yes.
Hey, this hour, about a half hour, we're going to catch up with John Sokoloff, who is the sports reporter and producer for WGNO in New Orleans. Got to get a preview of the Saints as Spencer Rattler, of course, from Pinnacle High, will get a shot. And Tyler Shuck from Chandler Hamilton, he is on deck if something would happen. So we got a couple of local kids that have an opportunity to make a name for themselves, and that'll be kind of fun. You know, it's interesting because listening to a lot of different talk shows throughout our market, podcasts, and things like that, some are saying that this is somewhat of a game. This is a game that the Cardinals should have no trouble winning, and I couldn't agree. Less.
You couldn't disagree more.
Yeah, totally disagree.
I disagree as well.
We know their record. This team is not a good team on the road under Coach Gannon. I mean, under Coach Gannon, this team is 4-13. 4-13. What makes them all of a sudden a favorite? Okay, they're 6.5 favorite on the road, so they'd be a 10-point favorite if they were home, most likely, right?
Yeah.
But I can see them going in and laying an egg.
I can
very easily.
Look, I said this on the show yesterday. Even though they have a brand new coach in Kellen Moore, meaning the Saints, and a second-year starting QB in Spencer Rattler, they do have NFL players on that team. And that makes all the difference in the world. They're paid to play, and they're paid big sums of money to do exactly what the Cardinals are supposed to do.
Yeah,
so I don't see it. I don't see it being like 38-10. I don't see that.
I don't think we're going to see I can see winning by 10. I can't. I think with the upgraded off their defense, big time upgraded as far as stopping the run and putting pressure on Spencer Rattler, or even if Tyler Shuck plays a little bit. I'd look offensively. This is the most complete offensive team that Kyler Murray's had probably in probably 4 or 5
what makes
years.
it complete when you only got one receiver?
Well,
they got a rookie.
They got the one receiver basically. You got 3
Okay,
solid
how's the
receivers.
team complete?
You got an all-pro tight end. You got a pretty solid. You got a pretty solid offensive line. James Conner, he's an all-pro running back. You got a good running back group. If any of the receivers, I'd agree. If any of the receivers go down, you got Wilson will be there, Dortch will be there, Marcus Jr. will be there, Marv will be there.
Come on. Complete? You said they're a complete team.
It's the best. I would say this is the most complete team they've had.
Okay, that's
in
different.
Jonathan Gannon's 3 years that he's been here.
Most complete
Good
team. Okay.
yes.
You made it sound like they're a complete team going into this game, and I would disagree with you wholeheartedly.
I think they're
especially a wide receiver.
They're better defensively. I will say that
on paper. Yep.
Yeah. And I think you look at this depth chart as far as they're concerned. Now Zay Jones is a question mark for me. He's a veteran. He's played quite a bit. Didn't play until a lot last year. Michael Wilson's got to step up. Dortch will be fine. He's your slot guy. He'll get his 4 or 5 catches, maybe break one. Marv Harrison Jr., we're expecting to see more out of him. I think expectations for the passing game stretching the field will be key. Now, I agree with you. I don't know where their home run power or their impactful play is. Everybody talks about Weaver having the speed. Well, Weaver's more of a backup. What kind of packages are you going to put in there? But I think offensively, they're going to have more balance than they've had. They're not going to expect Kyler to set the world on fire, just stay within himself. But I think that they win this game. They get control of the game early on with their defense. I figure they should win this game like a 25 to 17, 25 to 14 kind of game. I see that in them just because of their experience. You got Josh Sweat in there. You got Calais Campbell. There's a veteran-laden defense to set the tone. And on top of that, I think Kyler with this offense, with this running, and will set the tone offense.
Why wouldn't you want Kyler to set him on fire? I mean, that's what I want to see.
He doesn't have to set the world on fire to win this game. He doesn't have to be helter-skelter, run for 60, 70, 80 yards. He's got a good running core. You got a running back group.
What if he does?
Well, that's if he breaks a couple runs, that's great. That's part of his game. But they're not going to rely on him to have to make plays. If you have 2 or 3, let's say two running backs get hurt, then you rely on Kyler Murray to make plays with his legs. Maybe roll him out more, waggle him, bootleg. So I think with this running game, and then you got Trey McBride. Here's this guy. He's quite the de facto as far as throwing the ball to.
Won't they double him?
Well, if they do that, you got Marv Harrison Jr. You got this receiving core.
I'm not concerned if I'm their defensive coordinator. I'm not concerned about Marvin Harrison.
They doubled Trey McBride all last year, and he had an all-pro year.
Great year.
He had a great year. So I'm not concerned about that. I think the thing is, for the Cardinals, you better come out ready to go because you don't want the home team, the home crowd in New Orleans.
Yep.
They'll be jacked up.
They will.
Kellen Moore will have these guys jacked up, the head coach for the Saints. Spencer's going to be jacked up. He might chance to run around, escape some of the rush, and make some big plays. The key with the Cardinals, you can't give up big plays early on, and all of a sudden this team's in the game, and then you're behind the sticks trying to play. I think those are some of the things you got to guard against. But to your point, Cardinals lost 3 out of their first 4 games last year.
Yeah.
They lost 3 out of 4. They were up on the Bills. What was it, 21-7?
Big, yes.
At halftime. I think what comes into play, this first couple games, and we'll ask John Sokoloff, who's the sports reporter for the Saints, how much did Kellen Moore play out of his starters? I played his 2 quarterbacks, Tyler Shuck and Spencer Rattler, a lot. And I watched their defense. I watched their offense. I watched a lot because of Tyler. He did play these guys to get them ready. But a lot of the starters did not play for the Cardinals. Can they flip that switch, come out when the ammo's live, and be able to make plays when they have to? So, it's opening game. Anything can happen, but I think this Cardinals team should win this one going
I just don't know what this team has proved to everybody that all of a sudden they should win this game. I just don't understand. It's still the same Cardinals.
I think on paper they're much
Kyler,
improved.
It's like all of a sudden Kyler is like
he's
not
all
Kyler.
World. Yeah, he's all world.
Yeah, it's like he's a freaking superstar.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the guy, it's one playoff win. Yeah. I mean, he has not done anything.
I haven't heard anybody say.
Anybody can put up arcade
I have
numbers.
not heard anybody say he's a superstar. He's solid. And I know
solid in what?
He's a second, third tier quarterback.
Thank you.
Yeah,
yes,
very
good.
But what he did
last
year, he stayed with the pot, threw for over close to 4,000 yards.
You won a lot of games.
But you saw more of a guy that was more responsible with the ball, more
he's
throwing
great.
the ball.
You know where he's good, Manuch? if he's on your fantasy. But if you're rooting for the Cardinals to win games, he is not.
I would say the corner that he has to turn this year is not having quite as many lows, not as high, and more even killed, more consistent. What we want to see out of Kyler Murray. Now you saw that a little bit toward the end of the year. This team come together those last few games. Now, mind you, 49ers were playing with their JV team. Yes. You saw more. He didn't have to run around. I think with Drew Petz's offense, he was more settled, more used to it, getting more acclimated with it. And then also you had everybody's pretty much healthy for this Cardinals offense toward the end of the year. So Kyler, if he utilizes his legs in a smart way, but if they have to rely on him to scramble all over the place, yeah, they're going to be in trouble. He's got to win from the pocket. He's got to win throwing the ball and not being that helter-skelter kind of quarterback that he can be. But that if he's like that, this team would be in trouble. And also, too, Cam Jordan, one of our prodigal sons out of Chandler High School.
What's his 25th year
like
there?
It
feels like it, yeah.
Just being aware where he's at. I just think that this Cardinals, the offensive line-wise, that there is if they start getting dinged with the offensive line, that's where they may have trouble as far as depth is concerned.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whether Will Hernandez dresses out or travels with him or not,
he's not going to play.
Well, he's questionable.
There's a lot of
he's
on
on
that guy.
He's on the active roster, whether he plays or not. Now, if he's forced to play, but yeah, there's a lot of question marks for this Cardinals team. They're not world beaters, but they just on paper, where they're going into this game, they should win this football game versus a younger New Orleans Saints team. All right, that's what I see this game, how it unwinds.
I think they're going to get beat by a touchdown.
It's possible.
Oh, I know it's possible. I'll put money on it.
So you're taking the Saints.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be an ass here.
No, I get it.
I am not a homer, and I don't think this team is any better.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say that. They are better on paper.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we haven't even seen any of the starters, so we don't know what they're going to be. Okay, you can say Trey McBride, he's a superstar. I agree with you. He's the only guy, and maybe Budda Baker and a few other guys on defense. But aside from that, I mean, the complete team. I mean, I'm sorry, I just don't see that at all. Especially they did not do anything to improve with wide receiver, and I think the offensive line is still questionable. Now, I do like James Conner if he can stay healthy. That's great. I think there's a couple guys behind him that can step up too. But I'm sorry, if Kyler goes down, I think they have a better shot at winning.
I was just going to say that.
And if you can say that,
Brissett,
well, I mean, how sad is that?
I understand.
I mean, Brissett has started many games in the National Football League. He's played in something like 90 games or something like that.
He's had success.
Yeah.
See, that if Kyler goes down, I have no worries about Jacoby Brissett stepping in. The experience
but
he has.
Still is going to have the same problem Kyler had, and that is no one to throw to.
Well, and here's the other thing, too. As far as reading defenses and understanding defenses, he could get the ball to the mismatch. That's going to be the key for Jacoby Brissett to come in. Understand he's accurate, but again, the only thing that I caution against is if they box in Kyler Murray, don't allow him to get to the outside to utilize his legs and make throws on the run. Yeah, then they've got a really good shot. So I think the first quarter, the first half will be a good feeling out period.
So on passing downs, do you see the Saints blitzing then?
I think they will.
Force the action.
Where they had success, a lot of teams had success with Kyler, is they slow rushed it. Okay. They forced the guy to the outside. If he was going to blitz, if he was going to really want him to push up in the pocket, now they might run some stunts with the linebackers. They might bring the safeties. The only thing is if they do that, he's got enough talent at wide receiver to find the mismatch. So Marvin Harrison.
Wait a minute. Rock just said that he doesn't believe they have that talent.
Oh, they do.
Wide
yeah, these guys. The Cardinals have talent. They don't have the home run hitter.
Well, they have. As Jimmy B. I know we got to go to break. As Jimmy B. says, well, there's professional football players in New Orleans too.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah,
that are on
really?
the team.
They're not college, Jimmy.
I'm just saying.
No, what I'm saying, I'm agreeing with them that you can say they're all talent. Anybody that's playing in the National Football League is talent. But are they the talent that's above the other talent to be able to win some games? I don't think they have it at wide receiver.
If they bring the blitzes and the stunts, then the Cardinals have to beat them with their receivers and getting the ball. So they've got to show they can beat them off the blitzes to show that they're capable.
Last thing, we'll go to break. We got Rock's fan advice. Nice. I hope I am so wrong and this Cardinal team goes on a run, I'm hearing people are winning. They're going to win the division and this and that, and I'm like, hey, well, maybe they will. I mean, we don't know. Our crystal ball can't answer that, but I'm sorry. This offseason was, I mean, all right, Calais Campbell, he fits the
Josh
same.
Sweat.
Josh
Sweat.
All right, that's great. That's one, but let me finish.
Tomlinson.
They're getting these guys like, let's just talk about Emmitt Smith and Boomer Esiason and all these guys that come here to play 1 year and then they're done, just so they can ride tire here.
Hey, anything out of Calais to stop the run, push the pocket is a bonus.
Let's hope so.
Thing is,
we love Calais.
And until Walter Nolan III gets healthy, he'll probably starting role. But I mean, defensively, they have much improved than they were last year.
All right, Roc and Manuch is next right here at Twin Peaks, Tempe.
Craving sushi with a twist? Welcome to Rock Lobster, Chandler's vibrant and trendy sushi destination, where energy meets elegance. From bold wok-fire dishes to creative handcrafted rolls and cocktails, every bite brings the flavor. Every visit brings the vibe. Join us for lunch, dinner, or happy hour Monday through Friday, or even a date night. Find us at Price in Queen Creek and Ocotillo. That's Rock Lobster, where sushi gets social.
Remember when things were built to last? Well, at Arizona Patio Furniture, we've been handcrafting premium outdoor furniture and custom cushions for over 15 years, right here in Phoenix, using 100% American-made materials. We build it, we sell it, we guarantee it with our exclusive 5-year plus worry-free warranty. Visit any one of our Three Valley showrooms or go to ArizonaPatioFurniture.com. Mention this ad for free delivery and setup in Maricopa County. Arizona Patio Furniture. Some things are still made like they used to be.
It's time to make plans to join Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B for the Dosaki Sun Devils watch party. ASU on the road at Mississippi State, Saturday, September 6th at Backyard Desert Bridge. Your ultimate tailgate. 40-plus beers, signature cocktails, elevated bar favorites, and the game on massive LED walls. At halftime, 25 fans get a shot to roll for dough. $10,000 on the line. The guys will also host road game parties for Baylor and Iowa State at Backyard Desert Ridge and Utah at Backyard Gilbert.
There's never been a better time to experience Sun Devil football. Pressure coming, Levitt throwing for the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown by Jordan Tyson. The Levitt to Tyson connection clicks again. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the action, tradition, and unmatched atmosphere at Mountain America Stadium this season. Get your Sun Devil football tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Looking for a place where everyone is welcome? Come to Azul Bar and Grill in Phoenix. Not your typical sports bar, Azul is the ultimate hangout spot for friends and families alike. Enjoy live music, catch your favorite games, play some fun games, and savor delicious food in a vibrant atmosphere. Visit us at 3134 West Carefree Highway in the Tremonto Plaza. Don't miss out on our daily events and specials at azulgrill.com. Azul Bar and Grill, a great time, but a better time with you.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
Do you roll like Rock when it comes to romance?
What do you say we go out on a date? Have some chicken, maybe some sex. You know, see what happens.
Rock searches the world for tips on dating, divorce, marriage, pop culture, and even...
Yes! Yes!
Yeah, here's Rock's Man Vice.
60% of the time, it works every time.
All right, we got a bunch today here on September 4th. We do it once a week. Rock's Man Vice. Stuff a little off the wall, but always somewhat entertaining. At least I think so.
I like it.
All right, we'll start with AI picks the catchiest songs ever. You can forget the music critics because AI says the catchiest song of the last 50 years is this.
There's a place you can go. I'll say to young man. When you're short or
Would you agree?
I guess. I can tell you this. Every stadium or every arena for 30 years that I went into to call games, this song comes on, everybody stands up and does the hand gestures to YMCA.
So after YMCA by the Village People, it was ABBA's Dancing Queen,
No.
and then Michael Jackson's Billie Jean, and then rounding out top 5 was Cyndi Lauper's Girls Just Want to Have Fun and Spice Girls Wannabe.
I thought Celebration would be in there by Kool and the Gang.
Catchy. Again, it was
catchy
songs.
Yeah.
All right, there's a TikTok trend where Gen Z is putting ice cubes in beer. Some call it refreshing. Some don't like it at all. But a poll found that 1 in 3 young adults admit to icing their pints. Mostly light beers like Michelob Ultra, where you got to help that one. And let's be honest, I mean, it's already halfway to water anyway.
I drink much
So
I used to drink it back in the day.
Nothing in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
pretty
anyway.
flat.
We all know football's still America's king. A new poll says 48% of Americans follow football, almost double than baseball or basketball, hockey, soccer, and golf and tennis. All trail way behind. So, yeah, with football kicking off tonight, Eagles and Cowboys, America will be watching.
You know, the thing is, maybe, I don't know what you say, maybe 10 years football was year-round. Maybe it was because going to the Thursday night football, then all the stuff leading up, going to the combine, leading to the OTAs. It seems as though football was, there was a period you would go to basketball, and then baseball, and then football would pick up, once the combine here, right when they draft it. It's 24/7, 365
Always.
now.
That's the way.
I mean, it is. NFL has just basically, they have penned it throughout, and I think they've designed it that way.
So it turns out we've been all saying Denzel Washington's name wrong. It's not Denzel. His mom actually changed it so it wasn't the same as his dad. So here he is. He was on Jimmy Kimmel explaining and telling us what his name is really pronounced. Like.
Did you know that there are currently 4 players named Denzel in the NFL?
I know. And this is how you know they named themselves after me. Because, wait a minute, because my name's not pronounced Denzel. My name's pronounced Denzel.
Oh.
I'm Denzel Jr. My father's Denzel Hayes Washington Sr. I'm Denzel Hayes Washington Jr. My mother would say, Denzel, and we both show up. So she said, from now on, you're Denzel.
Well,
that's how it got
that's how she
pronounced
did it.
Denzel.
How about that?
That's interesting.
Some useless knowledge for you
Denzel.
today.
Denzel.
All right, 70% of us say we rely on our gut when making big decisions, jobs, moving, breakups, even marriages. So just deciding between a double quarter pounder and a salad. I don't know where that fits in, right?
So your gut might decide that.
It might.
In reference to that.
MTV is back to playing music videos 24/7 until the VMAs, but only MTV2, MTV Live, and MTV Classic. Britney Spears leads all artists with 21 videos in rotation.
They've got how many platforms now? 3 and
4.
4?
Wow.
God, it was so
Remember
much.
the launch of it? Remember
Yes.
this? Let's play this. Everybody knew that.
Yeah. Then the VJs that they had. That they did a study on a couple of them where they are now. The Johnson guy passed several years ago, and the one gal, they did a thing on her. She's a DJ in some big city.
Longevity experts say wake up, drink a glass of water, eat a clean breakfast, stretch or walk, practice mindfulness, set your daily intentions, and then enjoy a cup of coffee.
Oh, and then
that will help you live to 100.
Okay.
Jimmy, you're almost there.
I'm almost there.
You're almost there.
I must be doing something.
You drink
right.
your big glass of water when you get up?
No.
I drink a whole bottle.
I go right to the coffee.
Hey, most hated TV characters of all time. This one threw me. Sheldon from Big Bang Theory topped the list. Cousin
Really?
Oliver from Brady Bunch. Skylar White from Breaking Bad. Ross from Friends. Those were the others. How about that, Sheldon?
You know me to be a
I'm
very
gonna wait
smart
back.
man. Don't you think if I were wrong, I'd know it?
True. All right. A new study says taking your phone into the bathroom makes you 46% more likely to get hemorrhoids. Doctor's advice, yeah. If you're in there longer than 5 minutes scrolling, maybe you just want to get out. So, by the way, a new survey also found that the average American will flush how much worth of toilet paper in their lifetime?
Oh, my God.
How much money?
How much money?
Worth of a toilet paper.
I'll say, I'm going to say $200 worth.
Of toilet paper?
Yeah, value-wise.
You must not crap much.
Yeah, really. I was just going to say. I think it's in the thousands.
It's $11,198.
Yeah.
And speaking of money,
Yeah.
no winner last night. The jackpot for the Powerball goes to $1.7 billion, the third largest ever. The drawing will be Saturday night. It's estimated to hit 1.7, as I mentioned. Cash value will be on September 6th. Will be $770.3 million. But there you have it.
I had two numbers last night.
Last night it was 316, 29, 60, 61, and 69, and the Powerball was 22.
I got one out of the whole thing.
I had a bunch, but nothing. Yeah, except $4 here. Crap.
You get that power play, you get $4. I think it was $7 now as it goes up. $1.7 billion.
Well, you don't get anything for just one Powerball, do you?
No, you get at the very end. Those power play numbers get there at the very end. At the right, if you get one of those, they get $4 out of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I already threw my ticket out.
I got $4. Matter of fact, last time I got $7.
So what? You went back to where you bought the ticket.
You don't have to
give me $4.
Go wherever. You just say, hey, check my ticket. Hey, you won $4. I just
you can go anywhere.
Yeah, I go anywhere.
Okay.
You can go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just apply it.
That tells you that I've never done that.
Yeah, I bought a bunch last 2 weeks. All right, the big question in New Orleans this season: can Pinnacle High School's Spencer Rattler take the next step after an up and down rookie year, or will rookie from Chandler Hamilton, Tyler Shuck, push him for snaps? We are going to find out next. We're going to go out to the Big Easy, and we're going to catch up with sports reporter from WGNO TV, John Sokoloff, will join us next. But first, here's Connor with a Twin Peaks ESPN 620 update.
It's time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Twin Peaks ESPN 620 update. I'm Connor Collins. The D-backs beat the Rangers 2-0 last night behind 6 scoreless innings from Zach Gallen, who struck out 7. The win moves Arizona back to 500 as they aim to stay in playoff contention. Governor Katie Hobbs also signed a bill securing Chase Field for the next 30 years, including $500 million worth of renovations. They have the day off today before they begin a home weekend series versus the Boston Red Sox. Over in football, the Cardinals open the season Sunday at New Orleans. On the injury report, guard Will Hernandez is questionable with a knee issue, while center/guard John Gaines II practiced fully as he recovered from a thumb injury. Sign up now for our 2025 Pro Football Fan Pick'em, powered by Twin Peaks and their 5 Valley Lodges. Make your weekly picks, beat Roc, Manuch, and Jimmy B, and you can score prizes all season long. Bragging rights are on the line, so get in the game. Twin Peaks, the ultimate home for football.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
It's a fact. Dietary fiber is essential for digestive health. But did you know there's a special type of dietary fiber that also lowers blood sugar and cholesterol levels? You heard me right. There's a special type of dietary fiber, the kind found in glucose-down drink mixes, that keeps blood sugar and cholesterol levels in a healthy, normal range. It's clinically proven, science-based nutrition, and it really works. Look into glucose-down drink mixes today. Go to myglucodown.com. That's myglucodown.com. You'll be glad you did.
Now open in North Scottsdale, it's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs! Right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
Join the team at the largest towing company in the state, All City Towing. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service personnel. Enjoy benefits like the state's most advanced towing equipment, set work schedules, a healthy 401k employer match, health benefits, employer paid life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Ready to take your career to the next level? Visit us at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move.
There's never been a better time to experience Sun Devil football. Pressure coming, Levitt throwing for the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown by Jordan Tyson. The Levitt to Tyson connection clicks again. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the action, tradition, and unmatched atmosphere at Mountain America Stadium this season. Get your Sun Devil football tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Need to feed a crowd? Let Venencia's bring the flavor to your next event. We know you have a lot of options when feeding a large group. Ordering directly from Venencia's means you get the best service and the absolute best pricing. There's no per-person fee. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll come up with the perfect plan to ensure everyone's well-fed and happy. Grad party, office celebration, family reunion. Invite Venencia's to the table. Text catering to 411-24/7. That's catering to 411-247 or Venencias.com.
It's Thursday, and welcome to Lodge Mentality. The guys are live at Twin Peaks Tempe, located in the Tempe Marketplace. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge and home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
Games, 2 picks today. Rattler with the fake, the pump, the throw for the lead, a touchdown. It's the first for Bum Means in the NFL.
All right, joining us now, John Sokoloff, sports reporter, producer, WGNO TV in New Orleans. As he covers the Saints day in, day out, he's here to give us an inside scoop on what the Cardinals fans can expect as Arizona heads into the Big Easy this Sunday. John, how you doing today, man? What's going on? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Just grinding through the week, getting ready for week 1. I can't wait.
What kind of leash do you think Rattler has week 1 as a starter?
Did you say what kind of leash?
Leash, yeah. I mean, is there that possibility that if he struggles at all, you could see Tyler Shuck coming in there, or Kellen Moore's going to just stick with him?
Well, it's hard to predict any specific situation. Yep. Obviously, if they're down 35-0, he throws 5 picks. I mean, who knows? But here's what I can tell you. I know that once he won the job, Kellen Moore told us, he said, Spencer's our guy. We don't want him looking over his shoulder and at the sideline. He's our starting quarterback, and that's it. So I really think that he's trying to harp on the fact that it's Spencer's team, and he doesn't really want to have to go to plan B. Now, granted, if they're 0-4, if he throws 5 picks in the first half, that could be a problem. Last year when Spencer was thrown into the fire, he looked like he was playing kind of conservatively, and maybe it held him back. So maybe Kellen has seen that tape and wants to avoid that.
John, what was the ultimate decision to go with Spencer? I know that they battled out with Tyler, and he waited a long time before he made the decision, that being Coach Morris. What was the ultimate decision-making thought in reference to picking Spencer?
I mean, I just think Spencer was more consistent. I mean, that comes down to it, you know? I mean, he has more NFL experience than Tyler Shuck, even though obviously he's a little younger. He just knew the offense better, and he really had a grasp of it. And when you get consistency like that as a head coach, you gravitate towards it. Now, this was an incredibly close race. They didn't announce the starter till last Tuesday.
Right.
So, I mean, it shows that those guys were really neck and neck, but I think they know that Spencer can make all the throws. He can be dynamic. He can give them what they want. And, you know, compared to the two, I mean, the consistency factor really was the one that put him over the edge. He was a little more decisive, too, which also is another, you know, indicator that he was more comfortable with the offense.
John, and talking about this offense overall with Kamara as your running back, good, solid receiving core, pretty solid team. Why is this team so underneath the radar, per se, with their offense? Is it because of the quarterback situation, a young Spencer Rattler? Because otherwise, you've got a pretty solid group of guys that can handle the load.
Yeah, I think their skill guys are very underrated. I think that they're an easy punching bag. They were 5-12. Their QB retired. They have a quarterback room that started a combined, 7 games in the NFL. They're all young. First-year head coach. Let's face it, the Saints are an easy punching bag. And I completely understand being skeptical about this team heading into the year. So that's really, what it comes down to. And the fact that none of these QBs have done a thing in the NFL. And I'm not even saying it's their fault. Spencer Rattler had to weather a horrific storm last year. He was 0-6 in starts. His O-line was depleted. All of his starting receivers were hurt. He had a coach that was fired. So, he's just trying to tread water. So that's basically why. You have a first-year head coach and a completely unproven QB room. I don't blame people for being pessimistic.
Where's Bobby Hebert when you need him? There you go. John, my question is about the defense. And the talk around in the desert is they want Kyler Murray not to have to run all over the place to try to get a pass on. The question that I ask of you is, what do you see out of the Saints defense to force Kyler Murray out of his comfort zone?
Well, look, man, this is a 4-base front, and that's something that you guys would know better than I would of how he's reacted to that. But he has shown throughout his career that he can use his legs as a weapon. I remember I was still in Texas at the time. I covered some of his games when he was at Oklahoma. So what I do think is this Brandon Staley defense will make the most out of what they've got. And they've got some really good pieces, on that D-line. Granderson can really contribute. Cam Jordan is not he's not washed yet. He still can produce at his age. Another Arizona guy, Cam Jordan. They should call them the Arizona Saints, man. Shuck, Rattler, Cam Jordan. But no, I think the Saints have really good linebacker play too with Pete Werner and with Demario Davis. So I'm not really quite sure how Kyler will do against that. I do think the Saints defense will be solid. Now, one thing, guys, that's huge when talking about this Saints D-line against the Cardinals is the fact that Chase Young did not practice today. Yesterday, he was limited with a calf issue. Kellen acted like everything's all good. Now today, he's not practicing. So that would be a huge break for Kyler Murray. Chase Young was 6th in quarterback hurries last year, and we all know his potential. So, man, it's a new defense. He's still kind of working through the guys that he's got. His last year as a defensive coordinator, Staley, they were top 4 in the league in every category when he was with the Rams. Now, is the Rams personnel way better than the Saints? Of course it is. But, I think that learning curve, the fact they're still on it, can be a benefit to a vet like Kyler Murray.
And why did you bring up Cam Jordan, who we love here, former Chandler High School grad, known him for many, many years. What is it, like his 23rd year in the league or something like that, John, give or take?
Year 15.
I know, yeah, 15, year 15. How you've watched him. He still seems very effective as far as run stopping. Is he still getting that push around the edge and pushing that pocket and putting that harassment on quarterbacks these last couple of years?
Yeah, I think so. Look, he's not what he was, but I still think he's got a lot left in the tank. Last year, they were lining him up at defensive tackle sometimes, which is just no bueno for him. And he called that D-line coach last year. I forget. I'm blanking on the name right now. I don't know why. He's at Oklahoma State now. He called him the worst D-line coach he ever had. So now putting him back more at his natural position, I think, will really benefit him. Cam is an amazing guy. Every day in the locker room, he's always super nice to talk to. He's always a great soundbite. And what he does for the community down here really puts into perspective that it's bigger than football. So, I'm hoping that he still milks out a couple good years in his NFL career. But I still think he can make an impact for this team.
John, the Saints fans are some of the best in all football. They come out no matter if the team's winning or losing. What is the anticipation on this season? New coach, new quarterback, all that kind of stuff. I mean, how fired up are they, and how do you think they look at a Cardinal team that, on paper maybe improved, but a game that's winnable for the Saints?
I think it is a winnable game. before I get into kind of fan expectations, I think there's a couple tiers of fans. There's some fans that want Mickey Loomis fired. And there are some of the blind optimistic fans that are always optimistic. You got a couple of those. And then you got some people in the middle that are cautiously optimistic for the, Kellen Moore, making comparisons to Sean Payton. Maybe that's not fair, but, there are a lot of similarities between the two when it comes to when they took over this job, the kind of coach they are, et cetera. But, yeah, I mean, those expectations are kind of all over the place. But while I do think the Cardinals will win a very close game on Sunday, a 6.5-point line, maybe you guys disagree with me here, but it seemed a little egregious for a team coming off an 8-win season, and a lot of people are high on Arizona this year. I like Gannon. Kyler, I don't think he's proved that he can always be trustworthy. I think he's hurt a lot as well. I like some of the guys they drafted. I love Will Johnson. Walter Nolan, when he's back, we'll see. The Josh Sweat pickup was great, but 6.5 seemed a little egregious to me. I agree with you guys. I think this game is winnable for the Saints, but I do think that Arizona wins it with, a last-second drive, field goal, or whatever.
And, John, my last one for you, being around Kellen Moore these last 5, 6, 7 weeks or since OTAs and minicamp, what impresses you about him, and what is it you watch from afar that he brings to the Saints that you went, okay, now I get it?
Well, I think he has the full buy-in of the players, and I don't think they're BSing me when they tell me that. I think that he runs a really good practice, and that's the thing they've been mainly complimentary on, of his ability to kind of get the team bonding situated, and also his ability to, run practice the right way and really get the most out of his evaluations. It's hard to say what else I like because he hasn't coached a game yet. The preseason games, it was the most vanilla offense I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it was so abundantly clear that he's not trying to tip his hand that it was, kind of comical. We had a lot of, quick hitches and bubble screens and slants and all that. And that was basically it. So I don't really know. But what I do know is I think they buy into the fact that he gets the most out of what he's got, and he's willing to build an offense around his personnel. We saw him do it with Justin Herbert, Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts. He helped the Eagles win a Super Bowl where, Saquon Barkley was neutralized against a team going for a three-peat. So I think that they're fully bought into him making the most out of his personnel and the situation and the hands that he's dealt.
John, we appreciate you, man. Thanks for the time today. Have a
yeah,
good
guys. Thank
season.
you. It should be a fun game.
Yeah, it should be. We're looking forward to it. John Sokoloff joining us, sports reporter, producer, WGNO in New Orleans. You can follow him on X at JohnSokoLoff. For you Saints fans, there's a lot of Saints fans here in the Valley, so a lot of people are looking forward to this game. And interesting that he said that winnable game, but it's a game that they could win. So I would agree with that.
That's the way I feel about it.
Yeah, all right, we're looking for someone brave to take on one of the gorgeous Twin Peaks girls here from Tempe, Twin Peaks. Bridget is our gal that'll be doing picks, but we need someone to challenge her. 602-230-0620, 230-0620. You're playing for a man card, a $25 gift card that gets you a few beers and some great food. Be caller number 5 right now at 602-230-0620. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B.
Tired of the same old weekend routine? Then head to Putting World. Experience an elevated 18-hole golf adventure, followed by delicious eats, handcrafted cocktails, and live music at our chef-driven restaurant, Bar 19. Enjoy daily specials and happy hour deals that are sure to keep your wallet happy. Birdies, bites, and brews await. Check out this week's live music schedule at puttingworld.com or just swing on by Putting World, located in the Scottsdale Promenade. Eat it, drink it, sink it. Putting World.
All right, folks, here we go. 3rd and long, and your old underwear just got blitzed again. Sweaty, bunched up, riding high. That's a wardrobe malfunction, and you cannot coach through that. But hold everything. Chill Boys enters the game. Cool, breathable bamboo boxers, smooth as a perfectly executed 2-minute drill. I slipped on a pair and bam, total comfort in the pocket, even in the Arizona heat. I've called a lot of clutch performances in my day, and I'm calling it right now. Chill Boys is the MVP of underwear. We've all made the switch here at ESPN 620, and trust me, you should too. Head to chillboys.com, use code ESPN, and get 20% off your first order. That's chillboys.com. Folks, this is a game changer. You cannot afford to fumble.
When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers bring more air for less money. Rust-free, USA built, backed by over 40 years of cooling expertise. Available now at Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, Tractor Supply, and Northern Tool. For more information, go to staycool-products.com. Stay Cool Products. Form, function, value. Get yours today and beat the heat.
Hey, it's Kevin Rowe from Lerner & Rowe, trusted across Arizona for helping injured people after serious car wrecks. And I'm Sean Forrester, managing attorney at Lerner & Rowe Law Group. We may sound alike, but Lerner & Rowe Law Group is a completely separate firm focused solely on criminal defense. We handle serious felonies, DUIs, and misdemeanors with decades of courtroom experience. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call Lerner & Rowe Law Group now at 602-977-1900.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G protein bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section, or explore amazing flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G protein bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
Are you ready? It's your weekly chance to challenge one of the beautiful girls from Twin Peaks. It's Peaks Picks. The Twin Peaks girls are the essential ingredient to the perfect lodge experience. Each week, our girl next door Twin Peaks contestant takes on an ESPN 620 listener for 3 games. Get the most picks right. Win a $25 man card for one of the 5 Valley Twin Peaks locations: Scottsdale, Phoenix, Glendale, Tempe, and Deer Valley. Now, time for Peaks Picks.
All right, today we have Bridget, who's been serving us throughout the day and doing a great job. We appreciate her jumping on the mic to have some fun there. How long have you been at Twin Peaks?
3 years.
So you've been here a while. This location?
Yeah, just this location.
This is the first time you've been on a Thursday, though. We have not had you on.
No, we haven't. So
okay.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Excited.
Yes. So this is how it works. We've got 3 games. You're going to be competing against Allen Phoenix, all right? And today we're going to do Cowboys at Eagles. Arizona State at Mississippi State, and Cardinals at the Saints. Now, where are you from originally?
California.
Okay, so did you grow up a sports fan at all? Or did you follow any football?
Not really.
No?
Not until I started working here and I started watching a little bit more football here and there.
So do you have a favorite team yet?
No, I mean Cardinals.
Cardinals, you root for Cardinals? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we'll probably have an idea what she's going to pick there.
Yeah,
so
right.
Sure.
All right, let's start the game tonight. This gets it all started as the Cowboys are at the Eagles. Eagles are favored by 8.5. We don't care about the spread for the picks, but with the Cowboys and Eagles, and you can notice that it is the Eagles. There's an Eagles championship ring.
Notice
so
that.
I think it'd be in your best interest to pick the Eagles, but I'm not going to tell you who to pick. Who do you think is going to win this game?
I think you might hate me. I think the Cowboys.
Why? Did he tell you that?
No, I did
Because
not.
His wife likes the Cowboys?
No, did not say.
That's BS.
Did I say anything to you?
No.
He did.
Why are you saying?
I'm
come
sorry.
on,
I had
Bridget.
to. Okay, the cheerleaders have the cuter uniforms, and that's where I draw the line.
All right,
So
I'm not going to argue that.
See, the deduction that people come up with, Rock.
Yeah.
Better looking uniforms than the Dallas
But
Cowboys.
the Cowboys, I think the Cowboys and Eagles are still a couple teams that do not have a male cheerleader.
No, they don't. Not that I'm aware of.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah. All right. What's Al going with, Connor?
Al went with Philadelphia.
All right.
All right.
Dude.
Second game, Bridget. Arizona State traveled to Starkville, Mississippi. It's called Stark Vegas. That'll be Saturday night. So Arizona State traveling to Mississippi State. Who do you got in that game?
I'm gonna say ASU.
Okay, Sun Devils. All right.
Smart.
Which way is Al that he picked there, Connor?
He also went with the Sun Devils.
Let's go.
All right. Last game. That's the Cardinals are in New Orleans. And this one we need the winner and then with the score maybe.
I think the Cardinals are going to win, and I think they're going to win 25-22.
Ooh, close game.
Yeah,
Close
that's a 3-point game. All right, what's Sal going with?
He's going with Arizona 24-17.
Ooh-wee. Seven covers the spread, 6.5.
All right, so here we are. It's Thursday. It's the first NFL game. Happy hour gets underway in about 10 minutes. What are the specials?
So our specials for Thursday are going to be $6.50 Blue Moon, $6 Coors Light, and then $6.50 Mother Road Tower Station.
I love the Tower Station.
Aren't they good?
Oh, yeah, they really are.
Gotta love it.
See, here's the thing, Manuch. I know you've never had it.
Yeah.
But
a Tower Station?
Yeah, it's a craft beer.
Yeah.
And it's got a little bit more alcohol than, say, a Coors Light or a Blue
Okay,
Moon.
all right.
But it's so good.
Okay, I'd be up for trying a Tower Station.
So, all right. So, Bridget, if Al wins, which he may not, but he'll win a gift card, he's going to come in. He wants to come in and see you when you're here, and so he can just kind of say, "Hey, sorry, Bridget, but I won." Right?
Yeah.
Rub it in your face.
When are you normally here so he can come in and see you?
I'm normally here Wednesday through Sundays,
Okay.
typically in the morning. So
Okay.
11 to 4.
Got it. Hear that, Al? So that's what you're doing. Bridget, good job. That wasn't
hard, was it?
Really easy.
She was freaking
I
out.
was very nervous.
She's coming off Girl of the Month in April.
Oh, look at you.
April 2025, yeah.
So, real quick, how do you win?
You just got to be really good at your job.
Really?
Be attentive. to
Be
the guys.
attentive.
Yeah.
You've been very attentive to us.
Thank you.
Getting us our coffee, our water.
You guys are very simple. Just black coffee, no
Yeah.
creamer, straight to
Yeah.
the point.
Yeah, right there. So, all right, Bridget,
Simple
good
math.
job. Appreciate
Thanks, Bridget.
that. That's Bridget joining us here on Roc and Manuch TV on ESPN Phoenix. All right, now let's get to On This Day. And Connor, if you don't mind, fire off this sound for me, and then I can kind of elaborate on it.
Indians have not had a man past first base. Baerga batting .318. And the ground ball is short. Velarde. He did it. He did it. No hitter for Jim Abbott. Jim Abbott throws a no hitter and shuts out the Cleveland Indians 4-0.
How about that? Back in 1993, Jim Abbott's no-hitter. Of course, the Yankees one-handed pitcher throws a no-hitter against the Indians at Yankee Stadium. Also on this day in 2002, Barry Bonds hit his 600th home run, became the fourth player in MLB history to hit 600 home runs. And Novak Djokovic shocked Roger Federer in the U.S. Open as Djokovic saved 2 match points and then came back to beat Roger Federer in the semis, one of his greatest comeback wins ever. So there you have it.
Jim Abbott, the no-hitter, the greatest, how would I put this? For a handicapped player, one of the greatest feats, I feel, for a one-handed pitcher to flip that glove, throw it, flip it to his left arm where he had half arm. And, I mean, just it's incredible what he did. And had a good career as far as a pitcher.
They had a documentary on him recently.
Yeah, they did. I got to watch it because I think what an inspiration he was for a lot of, young athletes, baseball player, whatever, to have that handicap. And, I held for Tom Dempsey, who has half a foot,
right,
had no hand. For him to overcome his handicap, the powerful legs that he has. So those are individuals you think of. He had the record for many, many years of 63 yards. And then for Jim Abbott to have a no-hitter and have a successful pitching career in the big leagues with just half an arm is just incredible.
All right, hey, if you haven't done it yet, get in our fan pick'em powered by Twin Peaks in all 5 Valley locations. This is where you do your weekly picks. You play against us. And if you can beat us, you can win some prizes all season long. The bragging rights are on the line. So get in the game. Go to fanpick'em.com. It's free to get your picks in, so please do that. And then if you're looking for a great place to watch all the games, of course, it's here at Twin Peaks. But I was a little disappointed that, you have this beautiful young lady sitting here.
Yeah.
She sees me all decked out. And I had 7 different jerseys to pick from today.
Okay.
I picked this. I had 4 Randall Cunninghams. I had Nick Foles. I had Hurst. I had Bill Berge, if you remember Bill
Yes,
Berge.
I remember Bill Berge. Played against Bill.
And a bunch of, really good shirts and hats and, and everything. And I decided to go with number 1.
Sure.
With,
As you should.
So, she sees my ring. You would think that, here, I never played. But, I thought you play for the ring.
Sure.
Like I worked for 7 different teams in sports, and I never won anything. So now I finally won one as a fan. You would think that, the girl sees a guy with a big ring,
that would impress her.
And it did. Yeah, she went with the freaking Cowboys.
Well,
because of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders' uniforms. That's why she chose them. She liked the better uniforms for the Eagles.
She must have been a cheerleader at some time.
Probably.
She may have. Yeah.
Could have been.
Yeah, isn't that sad that she's thinking about the cheerleaders' uniforms versus the team? But she still picked the team.
Well, Rock, it's not like you're the greatest looking guy in the world either. So
I'm the second. I don't have any
Flashy.
I don't have any problem. I know you're jealous because you're just too short.
No, I'm just old.
The ring, the jersey, the world title.
Oh, I know.
Didn't impress her at all.
You think he'd have it all?
I need to do. I mean, come on. That's the reason why I'm still not married.
She humbled Rock right in his own spot. Wait a second.
I thought I had. So you're saying I don't have a chance. By the way, Matt Stapley was our winner last week, so he got himself a Twin Peaks man card. So appreciate him playing last week. So we're going to get into a lot of more football in the second hour. We're going to kick off, though, with some baseball as Zach Gallen looks like his old self again. How the D-backs ace found his fastball, and I think you could say his confidence just in time for September. But is it too late? Then we're going to catch up with Cardinals beat writer Howard Balzer. So that's all coming up as we are hanging out. Twin Peaks in Tempe. NFL season is finally here. It's go time for the next 6 months.
Yes, sir.
Every single Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Man, how great. And Monday. By the way, Thursday's always here at Twin Peaks. So please, if you're looking for a place, 5 Valley locations, I'm sure they'll have more before you know it. And you can take advantage of the ice-cold draft beers, 28 degrees, good stuff. That's all coming up next. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
I was opening my pet supply store in 2 days and needed a grand opening banner.
Hold on to your hat. Here come the rush charges.
So I went to Staples. Staples Print Pros were able to print it same day, and I saved big.
Same day, save big? Give that dog a bone.
I'll take it.
For the expert printing your business needs, Staples.
That was easy.
Now at Staples, save up to $125 on custom print orders. Valid in-store and online. It's 9/13. Order by noon for same-day banners. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It's back. Sign up now for the Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B annual Pro Football Pick'em Contest, powered by all 5 Twin Peaks locations. Pick the winners each week, score great prizes all season long, and earn bragging rights until next year. And don't forget, the guys are live every Thursday from 1 to 4 to kick off your football weekend at one of the 5 Valley Twin Peaks lodges. It's free to play and easy to join. Just head to fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com, powered by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views, and your home for pro football.
Leaders don't wait, they innovate. The next big leap is here. Real Time's Real Intelligence, RI. It's smarter, faster, and cleaner than any AI on the planet. It makes jaw-dropping images, 4K videos, Grammy-eligible music, research, code, everything in one place. Don't get left behind. The future is already here. Try RI now for free at tryrinow.com. That's tryrinow.com from publicly traded real-time media. RLTR. Try RI now.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports. Is ESPN 620. It's Thursday, and welcome to Lodge Mentality. The guys are live at Twin Peaks Tempe, located in the Tempe Marketplace. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge and home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B out here at Twin Peaks in Tempe. We were kind of having some fun at Bridget from Twin Peaks here did her picks, but obviously, did you notice who she came back to talk to?
She did come back to talk to you. Well, you're the boss.
She wanted to console you.
A piece of the rock.
All right, I'm kidding. All right, Zach Gallen is back in ace form for the D-backs, and it looks as though he's found his fastball once again. We're going to get into that in just a moment. Also, remind you that longtime NFL insider Howard Balzer will join us and preview the Cardinals and Saints, and he'll drop his weekly H-bomb. So looking for that. But let's talk about Zach Gallen. First, D-backs last night, they get a nice shutout as he pitched 6 shutout innings, struck out 5, allowed just 4 hits. He didn't walk anybody. He's now extended his scoreless streak to 12 innings. He's lowered his ERA to like 4.77, the lowest since May, and currently he is in just the last 5 starts. So if you look at August going into September, he's got a 2.57 ERA over 5 starts. But the righty has looks as though, and we've all watched it, he's maybe rediscovered his groove. And his timing's good. I mean, they're still 5.5 games out behind the Mets for that wild card. But it's good to see. He's got that confidence, and he says that he never lost his confidence, but he's throwing more strikes. I think he's trusting his counts, and more importantly, his four-seam fastball, from what the broadcasters were saying last night, is on.
It's interesting how he really struggled all July up to the trade deadline. And, Roc, we talked about how maybe people feel that he's lost it, he can't control it, so maybe they pass on him the trade deadline. So the blessing in disguise, because they really, there's teams out there looking. Merrill Kelly got traded to Texas. Shelby Miller went to Milwaukee, on. And I think a lot of the folks out there in the league are like, wow, what do we have here with Zach Gallen? Do we have a guy that can get it figured out? Do we have a guy that's always going to be up and down, up and down? Well, now he's up, but he was down in July. But once that trade deadline hit and came and went, it's like he breathed, or the weight of the world was off him, because he has really turned the corner. So I think right now, like Jimmy talked about, when they make an offer to him, will it be a fair market offer? Will he look for a hometown discount? What's it going to be? But as far as he's finishing right now, he's got 3 more weeks to prove that what you're seeing right now is the guy they can rely on going in next year.
But I was just going to say, the problem is that everybody remembers how bad he was through most of the season until these last couple of games. So he struggled mightily the entire year.
And it was mightily.
It was.
Yeah.
And so, look, I'm happy for the guy that maybe he's found himself again. That's all well and good. But how much money, then, are you going to invest in him if you're going to be the Diamondbacks?
And you would think that his agent is going to try to get the biggest contract possible, because this is his last contract.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Would you say,
I would say so. I think that, but, whoever he goes to in the open market, they're going to go, okay, here's the good, the bad. There's somewhere in the middle for him in reference to what kind of pitcher he is. I got to believe, I really truly believe the Diamondbacks want to keep him, but you've got Erod with his big contract. You look at the other guys that are coming out have been
Corbin
extended.
Burns.
Corbin, and he's not even
got a big contract.
Yeah, but I think that they'll go, okay, you proved to us, but they've got to do something with him in reference to next year to really have that consistency throughout the year. You talk about his ERA. It was 5.5, 1.6 for the long. It was climbing close to 6.
Almost 6, yeah.
So he's at 4.77, 11-13. If he can finish the year at 500 or 14-13, that'd be a big comeback for him. I mean, that would be huge. But he's dialed in right now.
All right, we got some sound from Arizona Sports that we want to pass along. That's some post-game sound. Here's Zach Gallen talking about the tweak post-trade deadline.
No, I mean, it's been a constant. I'm always tweaking, just trying to, whether it's going good, trying to understand, what it is that's making that go good. And when it's not going great, same thing, just trying to, figure out why it's not going great and make a change to that. So I think just, like I said, everything's just been getting the strikes a little bit more frequently. Just making the guys respect different pitches, had a kind of a sinker runner type of thing, just to kind of give the righty something else to think about. So I think that's helped a little bit. So yeah, we'll see.
It's interesting because remember the World Series year and last year, he always finishes strong. Remember how he struggled in that World Series year? They had made it through the back door.
Snuck in.
He really, I don't know, September, you look at August, September, he's just fine. He kicks in, but he's got to kick in.
He's got to help out the team during the season.
This guy should be I'm 15 and
15
10,
to 18.
Yeah,
I mean,
on bases. He's got that in him. The only thing I think they're going to look at is how many pitches this guy throws.
Yeah.
5, 6 innings, 90, 97 pitches. So I think there's something to say about that as well, too.
All right, here he is talking about the frustrations throughout the year.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, I think the ones that are the clunkers that are going to happen. It is what it is. This game's hard. The guys standing in the box get paid a lot of money too to hit and do what they have to do. The frustrating ones were the good outings through 5, 6 innings, whatever it was, and give up a late extra base hit to kind of sour a line, sour a chance for us to win the game. Those are probably the most frustrating. But for me, I'm intrinsically motivated no matter what, and just know that when it's not going great, it's just part of the game. You just got to keep fighting through it and come out on the other side.
By the way, he's got the Eagles tonight too.
Is he from that neck of the woods?
He grew up literally 2 towns over.
Is it really?
From South Jersey.
Yeah. Look, I like the guy. I've always liked him, but this season has been difficult for, I think, a lot of fans to wrap their arms around him just because of all the pitfalls that he had. I'm happy for the dude that he's having success here at the end, but still, it's at the end of a season where you are not going to be in postseason play, and it'll be a difficult negotiation, I believe, for the agent.
I think that too. He was supposed to be the ace before Corbin Burns.
Correct.
He still started the first game.
Yeah.
So is he a true ace as they look at him
Not now.
at the negotiation time when it comes to that in Major League Baseball? Is he that ace? Now, he'll be the ace next year because Burns not going to be back until 2027.
Well, we don't know if he's here.
Well, Corbin Burns will be back.
Yeah, no. If
held-
Gallen,
if
Gallen would, he may not.
All right, so I think it's one thing to kind of rip him, and to your point, like you're going to remember.
Yes.
I disagree. I mean, I'm looking at, he had a little run there where he had 4 games where he lost, okay? And they were big-time games. He went 5 innings in each, and he gave up, looks like an average of 5 runs in those 4 games, okay? And, it was the Dodgers, the Rockies, St. Louis, and Pittsburgh. Okay, Dodgers, I understand. Rockies, you got to win. But that was that 14-12 game. That was that big one that they lost. But you start looking into, once he got into June, he had 1, 3, lost 2. And then, he got into July, and then he started off good. He had a couple wins there, and then he lost 3.
Yep.
And then now that he's won 3, lost a couple, and won another. And now he's won 2 in a row. So he's just had a roller coaster ride. I think you could really look at it and you could break it down, and I think some pretty good PR guys could spin this thing and say, okay, yeah, he had a rough little patch when the Diamondbacks needed him the most. Maybe it was the timing when it happened that they needed him the most, right? And that's when we were talking playoffs, we were talking trade deadline, and then people piled on him at the time.
See, your point there, Rock. When they needed him the most, he faltered. That's why I think, there was a point there. They're coming off the All-Star break. And, you're right there. You're only 2.5 games back of that third wild card.
When was the All-Star? When was the All-Star break?
It was
second week of July,
second
right?
July.
So going into the All-Star break, he won on the 1st. He won on the 7th. Then he lost on the 12th. All right, so he was 2-1 the week.
Yeah.
2 weeks before.
But he was so inconsistent. The point that I'm making is that and you just phrased it. I'll use your term, roller coaster.
Yeah.
So are you going to offer him what he believes is be his last contract and a big contract, or are you going to offer him something that you believe that he is worth?
Okay, let me also throw this into the blender. Okay, Corbin Burns is out for over a year.
Yep.
He will be. So are they going to categorize him as the ace next year to pay him as the ace? You got Nelson coming back. You got Fott coming back. You got Erod coming back. So if they feel that either one of those, Erod's out of it. But if Nelson and Fott haven't surpassed him and make him the ace, he's technically will still go as the ace if they feel that. So they'll pay him ace money, know what you're paying Erod.
Right.
Erod he had bad year.
Yeah.
So if they're paying the man, but you look at Zach Gallen, how well he's finished his finishing. Let's just hope he does. So all of a sudden, you're caught. If you're a Diamondback organization, you're caught between a rock and a hard place.
You are.
I think the key, though, is if he can he went through that little rut where he was just walking 3-4 batters a game.
Yeah.
Remember, we were talking about all the baseball balls, and then if he could just eliminate that like he did yesterday, he only gave up 1. But, against the Dodgers, he gave up 3 and still won, but he only gave up 2 hits over 6 innings. But then before that, only 1 walk. Before that, only no walks. I mean, he's had some games where he's only had 1 walk, and that's where if he can get back to that.
Yeah, he's still a good pitcher. There's nothing wrong there.
Yeah.
But if he can just eliminate, if the highs are more consistent than the lows,
let's squeeze in one more clip, and this is from the skipper Torey Lovello on Gallen and his pitching.
This had a typical Zach Gallen feel to it. He was out there executing pitches. I think he was driving his fastball in some counts where he's typically soft, so the sequencing was good. That you could tell by some of the takes that the Ranger players had their strategy to what they were going to do, and I think Zach did a really good job of counterpunching. But he was really aggressive in the zone. I know the pitch count climbed a little bit. I had a scenario in my head where he's going to go 7 strong, but we clipped him at 6 strong, and the bullpen went out there and took over and preserved the shutout. Anytime you shut out an offensive team like that, they're very capable of scoring runs. You're doing a lot of things right.
And I think that, Jimmy, you and I talked about yesterday, if he could get 7 strong, if that pitch count got up there in that 6th inning, and we at the time said, well, they'll probably make a move here. And they did.
See, but that's also an issue for me. And you've harped on it all season long.
And he just said
it's
it.
The pitch count. Yeah.
And he just said, the pitch count got up there again. So I think in the off season they'll work on that as a mechanical situation. Gabby Moreno was was catching for him. There's a lot of things that go into that, but I think
the battery's important.
Absolutely,
he wants this guy.
Well, and he had McCann there for a while Gabby was hurt.
All right, well, we'll keep track on Zach, and hopefully he'll finish strong and he'll remain a Diamondback. I think a lot of us would love to see him back.
Absolutely.
All right, it's time for a little revenge. We're out here at Twin Peaks, by the way, and it's our producer's payback. We let CC and Laz out from behind the glass to tell us where we may have misstepped, misspoke, did whatever that didn't make any sense, and they're going to play a couple clips for us next. Appreciate you hanging out with us today. We're at Twin Peaks in Tempe, as I mentioned. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
It's a fact. Dietary fiber is essential for digestive health. But did you know there's a special type of dietary fiber that also lowers blood sugar and cholesterol levels? You heard me right. There's a special type of dietary fiber, the kind found in glucose-down drink mixes, that keeps blood sugar and cholesterol levels in a healthy, normal range. It's clinically proven, science-based nutrition, and it really works. Look into glucose-down drink mixes today. Go to myglucodown.com. That's myglucodown.com. You'll be glad you did.
Who wants to hit LA? Sign up for the Twin Peaks Gridiron Getaway, powered by Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Grand prize, 2 tickets to see the Cards at the Rams January 4th at SoFi Stadium, hotel at the Westin LA, and a $500 Visa card. Runner-up scores a $500 big game tailgate at Twin Peaks for you and 9 friends. Scan to score at Twin Peaks or text Peaks to 59925 to enter. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views, and football dreams.
Hey, Manuch here. As a former NFL quarterback, I've taken a few hits, but nothing worse than bad underwear. Sweaty, itchy, riding up. Now that's a daily sack nobody needs. The crew at Cho Boys sent me their boxers and boxer briefs, and I'm telling you, these are the real MVP. The bamboo pairs, game changers. Cool, soft, breathable, like calling the perfect audible for your lower half. Even out in this Arizona heat, Cho Boys keeps me comfortable and focused. I've swapped out the old gear. Now I'm Team Cho Boys, and the whole squad at ESPN 620 is too. Try one pair, you'll feel the difference. Hit up choboys.com, use code ESPN, and get 20% off your first order. That's choboys.com for underwear that protects the pocket and keeps you cool in crunch time.
There's never been a better time to experience Sun Devil football.
Pressure coming. Levitt throwing for the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown by Jordan Tyson. The Levitt to Tyson connection clicks again.
Don't miss your chance to be a part of the action, tradition, and unmatched atmosphere at Mountain America Stadium this season. Get your Sun Devil football tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Rose is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Rose is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Rose is the way to go.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. The insurance company's job is to pay you as little as possible. Our job is to get you every dollar you deserve. Call Lerner and Rowe today and let's make them pay. Call 977-1900.
Lerner and Rose is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Watch out. It's time for Producers Payback.
It's time!
Cece and Laz are stepping out from behind the glass to stir up some fun with the guys. Some prizes, laughs, and a little chaos guaranteed.
But y'all don't say that.
Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620 and 98.7 HD-2.
Let's round the boys up. Round the crew up.
All right, boys. Hand it over the keys. Don't crash.
Seatbelts on.
Yep.
Hands at 10 and 2.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. It shouldn't be too hard not to crash this week. We had a short week, Labor Day weekend, made it easy. Not a whole lot to grab at, but we still had a couple fun things to pick fun with. So here's the first one. This was when Manuch speculated about Lourdes Gurriel Jr. torn ACL. Roc called him out about playing doctor, and Jimmy B still took Manuch's side.
In fact, you even start them in junior high, right?
Start him at 7 years old, Jimmy B. My young Eli. My boy Eli. Yeah, he's 7.
Wow.
He's barely 3.5 feet tall.
Oh, you mean somebody I could dunk on?
Yes.
All right.
He's spinning it, running around.
That there was Jimmy B. That was Jimmy B saying that he found someone he could dunk on. That was this is the first one here where Manuch wasn't a doctor.
And anytime you see somebody go down like they were shot by a sniper.
Yep.
And it's I'm not a doctor. I'm not speculating, but I can almost say,
really?
Yeah. Well, my own mind.
You play one on radio.
Dr. Manuch.
Did you stay at a Holiday Inn? Anytime, and Manuch is correct on that, anytime you see
he was speculating.
That
He's no doctor. Don't
well, I know he's
credit.
no doctor, but
we all could have said
I
the
tore
same
mine.
thing.
I tore mine playing basketball. I know what it's like.
So that was the first one there. And unfortunately, Jimmy B followed it up with the torn ACL. Roc, you did not spare any remorse on him.
I tore mine playing basketball. I know what it's like.
Dude,
that
you're 5'2". When did you play basketball?
I was one of the fastest guards before there was
doing what do you call those
Suicides.
things? Suicides?
No, I'm playing
That's
in
the
a
fastest
game.
you were?
I'm playing in
Do you
a
have
game.
the record in Oregon for the fastest suicides?
Hey, when Jimmy had his little highlight film, there's some doing like a little layup. We had the mustache going.
Damn right.
I do remember that. I did see
little
Hey,
layup.
when you take a look at it, my hand is right at the rim. I couldn't dunk
whatever.
it,
Well,
but
you're
I'm playing it in right there.
8 foot high rim.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
yeah.
it's like you can't reach the rim. Can you hit the net? Can you
Not
touch the net?
now.
But could you touch the net?
Touch the net.
Yeah,
I could
you
I
reach
could
the
almost
net?
touch the rim.
All right, and since we
Sure you can, Jimmy.
Yes, I could.
Since we already touched on Jimmy B dunking on little Eli, we'll move past that one.
Yeah.
We won't victimize Eli again here. Finally, we'll come back to Manuch's on the field days. Him and Jimmy B were quick to blame his wide receivers for making him look bad.
Wide receivers make quarterbacks look good. Manuch, that was your problem when you played. The wide receivers did not make you look good.
That's right. Hey, Charlie.
I blame it on them.
Charlie Green, could you please mix in a catch once in a while? I did have my fair share of bad throws once in a great while.
And although it was a short week, we still found a few good clips for our producers' payback, and there will be some more in store next week and in the future.
Short week. Had
Short
Monday
week,
off.
Not too many clips.
I thought Jimmy and I pretty much maintained. Okay, Roc didn't have any fumbling. Really didn't have any hard names to mention this week.
Yeah, Rocket's a little off the hook sometimes because we only have Monday with him, because then Tuesday, Wednesday, he's not here sometimes. So by Thursday, we don't have enough to get him. But we're on the hunt for Roc.
Yeah,
So-
But you could take from like last Friday, or you could take. See, you guys don't get it. You don't take anything from Thursday. You don't take anything from Friday. You guys are basing this on 3 days of work. You guys need to do 5 days of work.
Well,
no,
but
we listen while we're out here. It's a
you know,
little harder while we're
you've
out
been
remote.
fairly
that's all.
clean,
We're
Roc.
remote all the time.
Roc must be reading that dictionary at nighttime and being articulate in pronunciation.
Well, he's paying them.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got a few in there for Roc. They're coming soon.
Bring it.
Easy on him, right? Wink, wink.
I had some pretty good news that was just texted to me. Good. We are going to be doing our road trip on Saturday at Backyard Desert Ridge, thanks to Dos Equis. Well, head honcho from Dos Equis just texted me and said, game's at 4:30. All ASU fans, like if you are an ASU fan, at least show a shirt, hat, anything, at kickoff, he's going to buy you a Dos Equis.
Are you serious?
When was the last time you heard a beer distributor say, hey, we're going to buy everyone that is a Arizona State Sun Devil fan?
There's going to be 1,000 people.
And I can see, because, I understand Wildcat fans these days. They're probably going to just borrow a hat, just get the free drink, but get the free dose.
Why
That's
not?
what Matt's going to do.
Why not?
He's going to just go in there, just get his free drink, and then take his ASU stuff off. But, that's pretty cool. So we're pretty excited. We're going to do 4 road trips, watch parties there, and Dos Equis specials. We're going to be broadcasting in person there, per se, and then at halftime, 20, 25 people will be selected to roll the dice for $10,000.
It's a lot of fun. The chance you match it all up, you get 10,000 nuggets. But if they don't, 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind, 5 of a kind, we've got some special gift cards to give them as well too. So
how do you know?
Because you told me that the
No,
other
I
day.
didn't. I didn't say
You're
anything.
talking about that.
He's guessing.
No, I'm just figuring we got some love to give if they'll win the $10,000. Line them up. Yeah, we've got 6 die this year. The 6 same thing. They can roll there in the end. We'll find an area that they can roll those dice and have at it. I'm just going to be very interested to see how ASU handles its SEC opponent. They manhandled them last year.
They did.
Here at Sun Devil Stadium. So they're going to be a team that pretty much can go into start Vegas. We found that out yesterday. Huh?
Most people believe that you are, if you're in the SEC, that Mississippi State is one of the worst SEC teams.
They still got some. They got some dudes
But
on
they
that
got
team.
players.
Yeah, they got
I know, it's still
big
SEC.
boys. They're fast.
I understand, Manuch.
Yeah, they just may
I'm
not.
just saying.
They may not pay as well as LSU and.
No, they can't.
Could you?
They're at freaking Starkville.
Did you see Bama was crying the blues on their that they need to go to their alumni for more money?
Yeah. Let me ask you this. So it opened up at 10.
Okay.
Arizona State was favored by 10. I jumped on it. Sadly, I went the other way. And now it's 6.5.
Why would it drop 4 points?
They saw them play against NAU. And they
Yeah.
didn't blow them out. They
Yeah.
didn't blow them out.
Yeah.
And Mississippi State got a W.
Yeah. They didn't put 50 on the board against
Yeah.
NAU.
But
I think if they would have blown out NAU and not the 12 penalties and some of the mistakes they had, I mean, I'm rooting for Sun Devils. I'm just saying.
Right.
I mean, the spread. Oh, that's a lot of points. That's why I got it at 10. I have ASU winning, but not by 10.
Not by 10.
It's a hard place to go, and now it's 6.5.
Yeah, and I think that there were several teams that we looked at last week that were their spreads like 38-42 that the opponents covered. I mean, they were like, wow, they were supposed to blow them up by 40, 42. Some of the highest spreads I think I've seen in opening game. And they were playing Little Sisters of the Poor, whatever. But there's a couple teams that covered, surprised, like NAU, surprised ASU, and scored 19 points in the Sun Devil team. I say, if they don't get those 12 penalties, they put 2 scores easy. I know one for sure on the long run that got called back. Very next play, the deep pass that got called back. So you're looking at over 100 yards in penalties. That's 2 scores there that might have covered the spread. And you get another stop on NAU, who went down the field a couple times.
They did.
And I think that's part of that drop, is seeing their defense, see NAU go down the field and score 19
Yeah,
points.
but all three of us know that Ty Pennington, who the quarterback at NAU, he is more than good enough to play at the ASU level.
But their running game,
how talented he is.
Their rushing game, I think, surprised a lot of folks. I think the pressure they put on Sam Levitt with 5 sacks.
Right.
So there's some negatives, I think, that affect the wise guys. And just looking at something like that, the penalties, the sacks, and then watching this NAU defense somewhat have their way at times against the ASU offense.
Tonight, of course, it's the debut of the 2025 season and the champion Philadelphia Eagles. NBC is going to be rolling out a couple new features for tonight's game. One feature involves the ability of the translator controlled by the production team to remove players during the replay. So you'll be able to get a clear view of a specific action or a moment.
Okay.
That's going to be pretty
Pretty
cool.
cool.
Just to kind of move a player. They're also going to be doing a telegraph the path of the player before the snap.
Wow.
That's neat. Melissa Stark is going to be on the sideline. It's her 25th year on the sidelines. I mean, you remember she started a long, long time ago on Monday Night Football.
She's
done a great job.
She has.
Then one other note that has nothing to do with
the game itself,
but I want to get it in before we're out of here. Nike has decided to change their slogan.
What?
No more just do it?
Just do it?
Why do it?
Why do it?
Why do it? That's the newest campaign.
Come on.
Why do it? They are trying to fit into our society.
Just do it, man.
So you're going to start seeing LeBron James, Caitlin Clark, Saquon Barkley, some skateboarders, some soccer players with the new tagline, Why do it?
Man. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean,
Well,
come on.
they've
guys.
had
Why
that-
do it?
But they have had that slogan, just do it, almost as long as maybe
Michael.
the company's inception with Michael
that
Jordan.
slogan's
Just
used
do it.
all the time.
Yep.
I mean,
all right. What's left for the Cardinals as they get ready to head over to New Orleans to take on the Saints? Cardinals beat writer Howard Balzer will join us on next. Give us his thoughts on this one right after Connor with this Twin Peaks 620 update.
It's time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's Twin Peaks ESPN 620 update. I'm Connor Collins. The D-backs beat the Rangers 2-0 last night behind 6 scoreless innings from Zach Gallen, who struck out 7. The win moves Arizona back to 500 as they aim to stay in playoff contention. Governor Katie Hobbs also signed a bill securing Chase Field for the next 30 years, including a $500 million renovation. They have the day off today, but they are getting ready to gear up a home weekend series versus the Boston Red Sox. Over in football, the Cardinals opened the season Sunday at New Orleans. On the injury report, guard Will Hernandez is questionable with a knee injury, while center/guard John Gaines II practiced fully as he recovers from a thumb injury. Make sure you get into our Twin Peaks Gridiron Getaway. Your chance to win tickets to Cards at Rand's in LA. Hotel, travel, cash, plus runner-up wins a $500 Twin Peaks Big Game Party. Scan the QR code at any of the 5 Twin Peaks lodges or just text Peaks.
Craving sushi with a twist? Welcome to Rock Lobster, Chandler's vibrant and trendy sushi destination, where energy meets elegance. From bold wok-fire dishes to creative handcrafted rolls and cocktails, every bite brings the flavor. Every visit brings the vibe. Join us for lunch, dinner, or happy hour Monday through Friday, or even a date night. Find us at Price and Queen Creek in Ocotillo. That's Rock Lobster. where sushi gets social.
Summer is just around the corner. Is your roof ready for the monsoon season? Well, now's the perfect time to call State 48 Roofing for a free roof inspection. Don't wait until you're dealing with a leaky roof in the scorching heat. Protect your home today. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509. Keep your roof sexy with State 48 Roofing, the #1 referred roofer in Arizona. Proudly serving the Arizona residential and commercial markets for over a decade.
Rock for WrightToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
Mondays belong to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live from Biggs America Bar and Grill in Peoria. The guys broadcast every Monday from 1 till 4, right in P83, across from the Peoria Sports Complex at 83rd Avenue and Bell. Then stick around as they host that night's football game. Food, drinks, prizes, and a shot at cash. That's right. Each week, 20 fans get a chance to roll the dough for $10,000. $10,000 Mondays. Biggs Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Be there.
There's never been a better time to experience Sun Devil football.
Pressure coming. Levitt throwing for the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown by Jordan Tyson. The Levitt to Tyson connection clicks again.
Don't miss your chance to be a part of the action, tradition, and unmatched atmosphere at Mountain America Stadium this season. Get your Sun Devil football tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Now open in North Scottsdale, it's the Orangedale Lounge. OD's, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
He's been covering the National Football League for close to 50 years. A longtime NFL writer, broadcaster, and co-host of the Pro Football Hall of Fame show on Sirius XM. A Hall of Fame voter, Howard Balzer. Now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, it's his 50th season covering pro football, 22nd as a selector of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, part of Cards Wire at USA Today. You can also hear him throughout the season on Sirius XM NFL Radio, 44 Super Bowls under his belt. He's been covering the Cardinals since St. Louis. Howard, all right, I know you have to take the fan perspective out of it, but when you look at this year, going into this year, is it any different than years past, or is it basically similar to what you have endured over the many, many years of covering this bad football organization?
I love the term endured.
Yeah.
Persevered.
Yeah, there we go.
Suffered.
Obviously there's ups and downs and things that have happened. And heck, I was in St. Louis and watched two teams move and then be there during an expansion process that everyone thought St. Louis was going to get a team. This was, of course, after the Cardinals left, but prior to the Rams coming. And then that didn't work out. So obviously there's ups and downs. It's a little bit of a roller coaster, but I would never characterize it as enduring because I love every moment of it. And it's, it's just, hey, is there any better things than, working in sports and covering the NFL, talking to you guys every week? I mean, man, that's enduring something. No, but
that's the highlight of your life.
We've been doing that now for, heck, I can remember the day. And this, by the way, it was Labor Day weekend that my wife and I and our animals left St. Louis for Arizona 5 years ago. And so in terms of the Labor Day, that was last weekend, obviously. But today was actually the date, September 4th, 5 years ago, that we arrived And I remember getting in the car the day before, and I think I had reached Springfield, Missouri, when I was doing Fridays with you guys then, and I remember being in the car and doing my my segment on the way to Arizona. So, like I said, it's like my wife says to me, "Are you ever going to retire?" And I said, why should I? I mean, as long as I love it, as long as I can write and talk, and people want to read what I write and listen to me, hey, I mean, I'll just keep doing it until I can't do it anymore. So yeah, obviously there's a lot of changes in the business and all those things, where we're in the digital age now with everything. And I mean, heck, I don't know if you guys heard this. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution, one of the great newspapers in the country, just announced, it was either last week or the week before, that they're going to stop their print edition at the first, at the first of the year. So who knows when other newspapers will follow that. But yeah, that just shows how much things have changed. But you got to adapt, and it's been a great ride, and I'm going to just continue that ride.
And Howard, speaking of adapting, when you look at this Cardinals team the last 3 years under Jonathan Gannon, do you feel, I feel it's pretty close, if not, this is one of the more complete rosters on both sides of the ball. Obviously, I think of Jonathan Gannon's 3-year era, but maybe since the Bruce Arians era, to have this complete of a roster heading into their first game.
I didn't cover them. I wasn't here then. I didn't cover them at close, but obviously those were pretty good teams. Of course, that Super Bowl, the Super Bowl team really wasn't that good during the regular season, and they lost some games on the road that were pretty ugly. I remember that, but they caught lightning in a bottle in the postseason. But yeah, I think they're building a pretty complete roster. It doesn't mean it's ever a finished product. It doesn't mean that you're not always looking to upgrade at certain spots. And right now, they still have a pretty darn young team, and a lot is being counted on, with guys like Will Johnson as a rookie, Max Melton, his second year at corner, and, and other guys, coming in. Darius Robinson, I think this should be a real interesting season after last year was pretty much, as he termed it last week, like a redshirt season because of the injury. And Isaiah Adams at right guard, a key player for this offense in his second season. So the thing is, they've obviously committed to building in the draft and then giving those young guys opportunities to show that the coach's faith in them is worthwhile. And I think for the most part it has been. And you're still going to have young player mistakes, but they should be less and less as everyone gets comfortable with the systems and what they need to get done. So I think this is going to be, I'm not, you mentioned earlier taking the fan view out of it. It kind of drives me crazy when you hear someone say, well, this is a make or break year. I actually saw something written the other day. If the Cardinals don't make the playoffs, that could mean that Jonathan Gannon is fired. I mean, yes, that would be Cardinals. That would be the Cardinals' way of doing things if something like that happened, because I think they're building something pretty good, but you have to stick with it. Now, having said that, I mean, heck, if you win 9 games, if you win 10 games, you don't make the playoffs. Are people going to look at that as a failure? I mean, it's hard to make the playoffs in the National Football League, but I totally believe this team is on the right track, and you hope injuries don't derail it. That can do it to a lot of teams in the league. I mean, heck, they had a almost crystalline practice yesterday with virtually nobody injured. Will Hernandez limited coming back from his ACL, and all of a sudden there's two new injuries pop up on the report today, as Dante Stills did not practice because of a heel injury, and Owen Papo because of a quadriceps. And those are depth pieces, but those depth pieces are important, especially on the defensive line with Stills and on special teams with Papo. Now, we don't know the prospects for Sunday yet, but you just hope that you don't start getting these injuries that can really derail a team, and certainly have contributed to some of the tough times that the Cardinals have had over the last several seasons.
Howard Balzer's our guest on the Wright Toyota guest line. I am going to use a Howard Balzer-ism because I've known him for a long time. And that ism is, on paper, the Cardinals look superior. However, as Howard would say, don't forget, New Orleans has NFL players on their roster who get paid to try to win a game. So if fans are looking at this and they see the spread currently 6.5, and they've already penciled it in as a W, what happens, Howard, if indeed the Saints find a way to win this game?
Well, I often say this, and I guess you can call this an ism of mine, but every year when week one is over, there are fan bases in 16 cities that think their team is going to the Super Bowl, and in the other cities that lost, they're looking for a bridge to jump off of. Now, I don't know. Are there any bridges in the Phoenix area? I'm not sure that they are, but maybe everyone will be looking to a mountain to jump off of instead. And so, but yeah, you just never know. And New Orleans can be a tough place to play on the road, the noise and all those things, and you have to. But if they would lose this game, it would probably be because the same way that they've lost close games. If they lose, it's going to be a close game. Probably if they win, it might be. But it would be for the same reason that they've lost a lot of times in recent seasons, is an inopportune penalty, a turnover, defense not getting takeaways, giving up explosive plays. I mean, coaches say this all the time, guys. This is a coach's-ism, is that there's like 4 or 5 plays in a game that really make the difference. And that's what the Cardinals and all winning teams are trying to win, hope to do, is that they're the ones that make most of those plays so they can come out at the end with a win. And so, that's what they have to do on Sunday. They should, but we also know that a lot of times things don't happen as they should.
Well, Howard, I think to that point, they lost 4 of their first 6 games, and you're up in Buffalo. We talked about this; they couldn't close that out. And then you look at the Detroit game; they just pretty much they were close. The only real blowout was the Commanders game. That really got blown out, and I think that Jonathan Gannon very aware of how he starts with the easier half of the schedule these first 5 or 6 games. So I got to imagine that's got to be a focal point as they head into New Orleans as well, too.
Well, and every time you ask guys that, and they're all like, it's almost like you press a button and a recorded response comes out. Well, we're just concentrating on today and getting better today. And you can't be looking ahead and saying, well, hey, if we win this one and then beat Carolina, we're 2-0 and looking pretty good. You can't look at it that way. You have to put all of your effort, all of your focus on this game, because that's the most important game right now. It doesn't matter what's coming after it. And that's the way you have to treat it, and that's the way all teams treat it. But it's a mantra that coaches, talk about all the time, and they hope that the players can buy into it and follow that. Now, these players say it, but it's still a matter of going out and doing it. And that is the key. But you guys know, I talk about close games all the time. I read a story today. It was interesting to me. Someone was picking Washington as a team that could fall back from last year. And, I've always said that, most of the teams that have great seasons win their close games. Well, I saw the stat today, and I keep telling myself, I got to look this up for a lot of other teams, not just the Cardinals, who were 3-5 in one-score games last year. And if you flip 2 of those, you're 5-3, and all of a sudden you got 10 wins, and you might be in the playoffs, and you might have won the division. But the Commanders, for example, with their record last year, they were 9-4 in one-score games. First of all, that's a lot of one-score games, 13 in your 17, and they won 9 of them. So all of a sudden, if you look, and one of those, of course, was that crazy Hail Mary win over the Bears. And so all of a sudden, if you take 2 of those and you lose them, well, things aren't as good as they turned out to be. And especially in a 17-game season, I know a lot of times people have talked about the Diamondbacks this year and how many one-run games they've lost, but there's 162 games. But, you start losing these one-score games in a 17-game season, and it will really cook you. And so that's totally where the Cardinals have to win most of those and have a chance to really get into the postseason.
All right, we need your H-bomb of the week. What's your H-bomb first week of the season?
I first want to mention on CarsWire.USA today, I write a story on this every week, and on this one for week 1, I did a little history lesson so everyone can go to there and talk. I talk about when this started, which was 30 years ago. So I won't go too deep into that right now, but go there and read the story. And of course, I mentioned you guys because I said I'll be doing the H-bomb on at this time every week with you guys on ESPN 620 AM. But having said all that, the preseason doesn't matter. I won a bunch of games, and I'll tell you, this week's slate is not a pretty one. And I hate when this happens because you're going, what game am I going to pick here? A lot of times as I write down the lines, I come to 1 or 2 and I say, I like that one. I like that one. But this week, not so much. And here are the games. Tonight, game 1 of 272 in the NFL, the Eagles, defending Super Bowl champs, are 8.5 over the Micah Parsons-less Dallas Cowboys. The Cardinals, you mentioned 6.5 earlier. That's the rule for the H-bomb. The Cardinals, a 6.5-point favorite. Usually we're deciding whether to pick the Cardinals to cover in an H-bomb game. But this week we're deciding whether to drop it on the Cardinals, and I don't think anyone would be happy if I did that. Then there's Denver, 8.5 over the Tennessee Titans, who have made some additions. In fact, they signed Kaiser White this week to the practice squad. But they've made some additions. They have a rookie at quarterback. This is a team that has some issues, and I think the Broncos are going to be pretty darn good this season. So the plane, the H-bomb plane, is hovering over its target. I will say it doesn't make me very confident, but I'm dropping the bomb on the Eagles tonight. Somehow the Cowboys are going to find a way to cover that 8.5. But it's not a strong feeling. I have to be the first to admit that, but I got to pick one of the 3, and so that's the one I'm going with.
Yeah, I think, you may not be coming out of the gate strong this year. Sorry, Howard. As an Eagles fan.
Well, what game would you pick? What game would you pick? What game would you seriously? What game would you pick?
I like Denver.
I like Denver as well. Yeah, I'm real high on Denver. I don't know why. It's tough. It's tough. That's why this H-bomb only comes around once a year, right?
There we go. There we go.
All right, Howard. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Hey, check
my
them
pleasure,
out
guys.
At Cards Wire, of course, at USA Today. And he's brought to you today by All City Towing, the largest towing company in Arizona, based right here in Tempe. A place where your career can get a serious boost. They're hiring dispatchers, call takers, a lot of attendants, drivers, customer service pros. So you can enjoy steady schedules. They have the best towing equipment in the world. Health benefits, 401k with an employer match, paid life insurance, even a monthly fuel allowance. Sound good? Well, take that next step. Visit them online at allcitytowing.com, where your future is on the move. So he went with the Dallas Cowboys, plus 8.5.
Yeah.
All right, one more to go. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B from Twin Peaks, Tempe.
It's time to make plans to join Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B for the Dos Equis Sun Devils watch party. ASU on the road at Mississippi State, Saturday, September 6th at Backyard Desert Ridge. Your ultimate tailgate. 40-plus beers, signature cocktails, elevated bar favorites, and the game on massive LED walls. At halftime, 25 fans get a shot to roll for dough. $10,000 on the line. The guys will also host road game parties for Baylor and Iowa State at Backyard Desert Ridge and Utah at Backyard Gilbert.
Leaders don't wait. They innovate. The next big leap is here. Real Time's Real Intelligence, RI. It's smarter, faster, and cleaner than any AI on the planet. It makes jaw-dropping images, 4K videos, Grammy-eligible music, research, code, everything in one place. Don't get left behind. The future is already here. Try RI now for free at tryrinow.com. That's tryrinow.com from publicly traded Real-Time Media. RLTR. Try RI now.
When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers bring more air for less money. Rust-free, USA built, backed by over 40 years of cooling expertise. Available now at Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, Tractor Supply, and Northern Tool. For more information, go to staycool-products.com. Stay Cool Products. Form, function, value. Get yours today and beat the heat.
Crest Insurance is about more than providing coverage.
It's about creating your safety net, personal, reliable, and supportive. We offer access to a national network of trusted carriers. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, we're here to help with the personal touch that's close to home. With Crest, you're not only protecting what matters most, but also helping to build stronger, more resilient communities. Crest Insurance, service you can count on.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Roach is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Roach is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Roach is the way to go.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Being in an auto accident is traumatic. You need to call the best law firm that has the experience to get you the best results. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Turner and Roach is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Draft your fantasy team where the real MVPs are at Twin Peaks. Ice cold beverages, wall-to-wall TVs, legendary eats, and scenic views. This is how you fantasy draft. Commissioners score a $50 bonus card, plus $5 for every drafter at the lodge. Lock in your draft party now at TwinPeaksRestaurant.com/fantasy draft. Or better yet, just stop into one of 5 Valley Twin Peaks lodges. Twin Peaks, the ultimate draft day destination.
It's the Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
Self goals, and that's being the first 4,000-yard passer in Bears history. That's a goal of mine. 70% completion that helps the team, keeps us on the field, puts us in better positions. And then other than that, just trying to go down and score the most points that we can with each drive that we have. So that's kind of my self goal. And obviously other than that, you got to go win. That's success for me. That's success for the team. That's all we wish for and all I wish for.
Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
4,000 yards he wants to throw.
Is that for Laz? Laz got his Bears.
Seriously, why'd that make our one call? We had the head coach from Northern Arizona. We had the assistant head coach from ASU, and then we had a superstar safety that played for the Desert Swarm. And we go with this garbage?
Well, I think it kind of plays into our State Radio featured call question of the day.
Oh, it does? Go ahead.
It does.
Finish.
It is, basically.
I don't see how it does, but go
for
ahead.
a free quote repair installation, head to StateRadioRoofing.com and follow them on social media by searching #SexyRoofStatus. Here you go, Rock. What new NFL coach will have the most success in his first year with his new team? Is it the Bears, Ben Johnson? Is it Mike Vrabel with his Patriots? Is it Pete Carroll with his Raiders? Or is it Liam Cohen with the Jaguars? Just go to Roc and Manuch on Twitter. So it kind of plays into that. So
what's the answer?
I don't know. I'm going to ask Connor. Where's everybody leaning? Are they leaning toward those Bears
Well,
right
it
now?
must be because that's the one call.
Yes, it looks like we had 67% leaning towards the Bears. There was 33% going towards the Jaguars and Liam Cohen, but overwhelming support for the Bears, Caleb Williams, and Ben Johnson this season.
Me, man. Yeah,
I took the Raiders.
I'm going Pete Carroll.
I took the Raiders.
I think Pete Carroll's going to kill it.
I agree.
There's something about him.
That's
man.
it.
He's always has a good team.
Yes. Even when
maybe
he
that
doesn't have great
that
players.
Jets team he had wasn't that great.
Yeah, but even when he doesn't have great players, his team is still really competitive.
Seems like he's the guy that you want to play for.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
Especially as a pro.
Yeah,
as a pro.
Yeah, they love the death. But how about that? The Bears are getting a lot of love prior to the regular season.
Hype. Hype.
You know what?
There's always a team or two.
They will be vastly improved offensive-wise with Ben Johnson. I get that. But can their defense hold up? They had a pretty good defense a couple years ago. And the Cardinals went in there and they waxed the Cardinals when Justin Fields was starting to he was starting to get it before they traded him off to Pittsburgh. So I'm a Pete Carroll fan. Geno Smith, quarterback.
More than capable.
Yeah, Pickett now the backup for the Raiders as he gets traded to them. But I got to go.
That guy's got a lot of swag.
He does.
Seriously,
he does.
Fourth team in 5 years.
Yeah, he's got a lot of swag. What are you doing?
He's going with those gloves on. I don't know how he does that. But that is our state.
Yeah, I mean, I think you look at the Raiders. And I'm not a Raider fan, but with Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly as their offensive coordinator, and their defensive coordinator is Patrick Graham, who's been in the league 17 years, and they got some big time coaches that,
Look,
even Greg Olson showed up over there as their quarterbacks coach. Manuch, he's been around 23 years.
Long time.
They got Bowers that nobody can cover him as a receiver, and they've drafted Ashton Genty out of Boise State. And a lot of people are predicting that he's going to run for at least 1,800 yards.
Yeah, I would hope it depends on the offensive line. Yeah, it really depends on them. I think that it's going to be what you mentioned, Rock. Chip Kelly is our offensive coordinator.
Yep.
More of a controlled balance. I think he learned his lesson several years ago when he was the head coach at Philadelphia. Can't run that air raid, but he really wants to rely on that running game. You bring up Bowers. I mean, this kid,
he's great.
First year.
Yeah.
You went, damn.
All right, here's what's on tap, presented by Dos Equis and our Sun Devil Watch Party this Saturday at 4:30. And Manuch and I will be holding down the fort, giving you an opportunity to win a $10,000 rolling the dice. But NFL tonight, Thursday night football, season opener. You know who's playing. The game starts at 5:20, and it is live on NBC 12. So it's not the Amazon, which will be for the rest of the season. No college football games tonight, so Thursday's off. I think Purdue's playing, but that doesn't count. Then Diamondbacks are not playing tonight.
No, they are not.
I hope my buddy's listening.
Rock. Where's
respect? We have a listener that's just pain in the ass. Purdue.
Oh, a Purdue Boilermaker guy?
God. Yeah. I made a bet with him that he has Purdue being, for basketball, would be the consensus AP number 1 to start the season.
Are you serious?
I'll give maybe top 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I think Houston or...
Yeah. Did Zach Edey come back to play again?
Yeah,
Is that the deal? Did he show up again?
Something about people from Illinois. They get bought into stuff, like Bears fans. And, I think people are saying the Bulls are going to win it next year. It's just something about all you Chicago people. All the Cubs are going to win, too, by the way.
Watch out for those Bears. Watch out for those Bears.
Oh, jeez. But, yeah, I hope you'll make plans to join us on Saturday. It should be a lot of fun. Hey, if you missed anything, we do a pretty cool, I think it's a pretty cool segment. Now called Forks, Cats, and Jacks. We do it in the 1 o'clock hour every Thursday, where we catch up with NAU head coach Brad Wright, Charlie Ragle from ASU, and then always somebody different from the Cats. So we'll be back 1 o'clock tomorrow.
It's back. Sign up now for the Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B annual Pro Football Pick'em contest, powered by all 5 Twin Peaks locations. Pick the winners each week.